Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Hello, everyone. Oh, look at you. You real quick.
I know, it poofed.
I love that. Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy April. I love it. I love it. We're getting closer.
Oh, yeah, it is.
To be nice. I know.
It's almost halfway through the year again.
Ew.
I know. Don't look at it that way. It'll make you cry. I was like, didn't we just have Christmas? What are we doing?
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks on that. I'm just happy because it's warm and we get sunshine and my tulips are blooming. So
we get allergies.
I think we get them here too, but I don't really have them. I do for a little while and I don't know what from what. I think I got makeup in my hair.
What is spring? We don't really have that. It goes from cold to hot.
Yeah, well, it's lovely. Spring is the best. It's like fall, but not. It's better than fall. Because in fall, everything's dying. And in the spring, everything's been dead for months. So it starts blooming and it's like, oh, look at that. That's so nice.
Oh, we just get sweltering humidity.
Good morning, text packet. Yeah, it's not that bad here. We don't get the humidity till July, usually. Good morning, text packet. Singing in the chat. I love
there
that.
There is karaoke in the chat, apparently.
Yes. I see. Man Eater is the perfect song for Laura. Good job, Buffy.
Yeah. I will have that song in my head all day.
I love it. Hello, Lady in Gray. Hello. Good morning to you, Pam.
I really think we should just change our opening theme to that. Can we? I'm not gonna
no, we don't have the license money for Man Eater, ma'am. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, hello, Bill. Welcome back. Happy to see you here. Great day, everybody. I love when we get to talk about Laura Owens stuff. It's my favorite. Because I was putting together the rest of the shows for April, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about this. I can't wait to talk about this. I can't wait. But we're going to be moving at rapid speed. I want to remind you guys, please go ahead and like the video. It lets everybody know that we're live, and we're going to be talking mad shit today about Laura Owens and how dumb she is. And then if you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live or drop an episode. I also want to thank, I don't know if Dan Montana's around yet, but in case Dan Montana doesn't come around and they're in the replay crew, thank you for the end of the stream super chat on Tuesday. Really appreciate your support so much. So thank you for that. It came in right as we had ended the show and I couldn't do anything about it. So
better late than pregnant.
That's so fitting to what we're going to be talking about today.
Know.
Now, on our last episode of the Laura Owens saga, we're now moved into 2023. And not much happened at the beginning of that year because with Greg Gillespie, they're, looking towards an arbitrary hearing, to basically a little mini trial. So they don't have a lot going on, except Woodnick withdrew as counsel for Greg because of Laura's crazy antics, where she accused them of conspiring to have her sexually assaulted in New Jersey, which, did she get a charge for that? Because I would really appreciate it if she did. I know that guy is on their witness list.
But she didn't technically file a report or anything.
They went to the FBI, Buffy, remember?
Oh, okay.
I don't think they went to the FBI, but that's just my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she filed an actual report, so you can't even get false report charges.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of defamation or something, I think. I don't know. I just want her charged with everything. All of the things. I understand they can't do that, but I want it. But the guy may be able to talk, and I'm very interested in that. Me too. Text back at me too.
Wait, what guy?
The Hoboken guy.
Oh,
that guy. He's on the witness list for her felony charges for the state.
And this is why it just needs to go to trial. Let's just put it all out there.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just keep talking shit.
I mean, we're going to do that either way, to be quite honest with you. Because that's what we're best at.
Yes, but...
So today, what we're going to talk about is Greg's team files for a summary judgment because he's gotten a new lawyer, new representation. And, we also watched a Zoom hearing, which was very interesting. Laura's currently being represented by Kyle O'Dwyer, I think his name is, who had to do this hearing and only knew stuff for like 7 days. But he sticks around, which is interesting.
Says a lot about, well.
I mean, he doesn't stick around like that long, but long enough that you're like, interesting. And so we have had a lot of questions about Laura's medical abortion claims, because I've never had one. And I've had friends in my 20s who used the pill, but like I didn't ask them questions about anything. I was just like there as support. But as we've been reading Laura's, abortion coercion claims and what she did, it hasn't made a lot of sense to us at all. Like, how do you take 6 pills at different times when you're not supposed to and they didn't work? We have lots of questions because her claims don't make any sense. And guess what? They filed it as some exhibits. So that's what we're going to be reading partially today, is the process of that. And then her dumbass text with the nurse practitioner. You're going to be like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? Hello, Deanna, my apologies. Deanna, Christine, hope you're doing well, babe. Good morning to you and welcome. And so that's basically what we're going to be covering today. And some more. So I think it was in the last one, or maybe it's the first one we're about to read. They want to talk about what symptoms Laura, I think it's the first one we're about to read, but, she's claimed, emotional distress, and she wants all this money, but she's going to donate it to charity, guys. Okay. She doesn't care about the money. Okay. And she hasn't really claimed how it's affected her in those ways, surprisingly. So we are going to hear some of what her claims of what this cost her, which is, oh boy. Oh boy. So let's get into it. I'm also very excited, and I'll remind you all at the end, but we will be starting Clayton Echard's Owens versus Echard next Tuesday, next week. He enters the picture, and from then on, it is just chaos and Laura just becoming more unhinged as the weeks go by. Because there is, as I've learned, no depth she's not willing to go. She is willing to do anything. And, that's why her deadline for her plea deal is coming up on the 24th. I don't think she's going to take it.
Putting it on my calendar.
I put it on the show outline.
Big family calendar.
The big family. It's a big day.
Yeah, the one that's in the hallway that everybody looks for their appointments on. Yeah, that's going on the family calendar.
And listen,
because I just switched it to April, so.
I think, okay, even if she says, you know what, I'll take the plea deal, it's not official until you go in front of a judge. And she can withdraw that at any time. She can show up that day when the judge is ready to sentence her and be like, nope, I don't want to do that. And guess what happens? You get a trial. And if there's one thing we've learned about Laura, it's that she loves changing everything at the last minute. That's when she hires counsel. That's when she calls the police. I mean, she has a pattern. And I don't know why I would think this would be any different.
And the judge can reject the plea deal, correct?
They can.
Wouldn't it be great if he was like, you know what? Nah, we doing this.
No. They hardly ever do. They usually do when the principal. Yeah, they usually do when they feel the sentencing part is inadequate. Like Judge Penny did that in the au pair, right? They were willing to let that be out right away. And she was like, no, you are getting the full 10 years, ma'am. No, that's not happening. So
nah, we're not doing this today.
It's very rare, though, that does happen. But it has happened. I've seen it. I've heard it.
I just think we should just make her go through with the trial. The judge should just be like, no, you don't get to plea. We're doing a trial.
I agree. All right.
You did this for like 3 years. We're doing this.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I agree. I need it to happen so bad. So bad. All right. Well, let's start with the first thing we have to read tonight. Technically, we only have 3 things to read today, but they look a little lengthy, but we're not reading all of the stuff in each of them. So like for this first one, we're only reading the 6 pages because a lot of their exhibits and stuff, it's literally stuff we've already seen and read, and we're not gonna do that. So this is all right. So for Gillespie and Owens, they have been arguing for months about wanting this dismissed and wanting a summary judgment, both sides, because they're both like, oh, you can't prove it and you can't prove it. And they just want the judge to rule. I don't know. This judge has not ruled on shit for this long. It's kind of crazy to me. And they just had a Zoom hearing that we listened to on Tuesday. A Zoom hearing in this timeline, not in real time, just so nobody's confused. And, that's when they were arguing about the constitutionality of it all. She didn't have a medical doctor as part of this and all of those sorts of things. So here's them filing for a new motion for summary judgment. And they are asking for an oral argument again. So they want another hearing like the last one. So pursuant to the Arizona Code, Greg, by and through his lawyers, moved for a summary judgment on Laura Owens' affirmative claims against Greg. So the summary judgment is proper because the plaintiff has not established a physical manifestation of symptoms as required for a claim of intentional infliction of emotional distress. She just wants $40,000. Actually, is it with Greg? She wants like $120,000 or something like that. I think so. Maybe she dropped.
I remember 45, and then she added some more later. But I don't think we actually saw a final number.
No, right? I don't think we did either.
Not in any of the.
Or maybe she talked about it, or I don't know.
Yeah, she mentioned it, but I don't think I actually saw a number in writing. So
maybe it was for her DV claims because she ends up stipulating to dismiss those claims because they have stipulated to dismiss a few of her accusations. So maybe that extra 40,000 or whatever was from her. It was like 45. Okay, yeah, I know she talked about donating. I'm such a good person, Your Honor, that even though I'm asking for all this money, I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to give it to, charities because I'm an advocate. Ugh, gross. So they're saying she's not established any physical problems from any of this, and Laura has not made. Oh, what bug is that? Is that a fly? Sorry, we don't see flies in the north for a few months, and it was like a big fly. It was. Ugh. Sorry. Anyway, distracted. Now, this motion is supported by Greg's concurrently filed statement of facts and the following memorandum of points and authorities. So we're just reading these first 6 pages. So we see what they're arguing now. Because now they're like, all right, so how about you tell us how this has all really affected you? Because you haven't. So this motion concerns Laura's affirmative claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Laura's complaint does not seek relief for any specific injuries associated with such a claim. Oh, and while we do this, we'll have fun in the chat. Probably wrong answers only if you guys already know the answer. But what physical symptoms do you think Laura is going to complain that she has? So feel free, chat, to just put whatever you think Laura's going to, because of course she's going to. She's like, oh, this is my favorite part. Hold on. Let me tell you my ailments. Now, indeed, Laura's disclosure statement does not even allege that she suffered a manifestation of physical symptoms associated with her alleged severe emotional distress. Laura also does not seek any damages associated with a physical manifestation of her alleged severe emotion distress. Rather, Laura requests that the court award her attorney fees and costs billed at reasonable rates, even assuming such damages are recoverable in a pure tort action. Laura has not disclosed a computation of damages. Likewise, Laura has not disclosed any documentation, surprise to nobody, related to her alleged damages or claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress that would otherwise constitute severe emotional distress.
So my problem with this is the use of the term intentional.
Mm-hmm.
How do you prove that was somebody's intention?
Right. I mean, it's very well defined. They didn't put the definition here, but that's a common thing you can, file in court, that you went out of your way to harass them, but knowing that it could make somebody ill.
The back and forth, but this isn't just for harassment, correct? This is for the abortion coercion, right?
Yeah.
And that was the intentional emotion. Well,
right. That came after going through it. Yes. And his promises. Yeah. It's really about his promises.
Right. Jeez. So I guess my word is, let's, for argument's sake, say it's all true. It's not, it doesn't necessarily, it's an emotional distress. Yeah. But was that his intention, was to stress, cause that?
Right. She doesn't have a good case for it.
Intentional. I don't know. Did it cause you? Maybe, but
mm-hmm.
I know it's not real. Everybody keeps reminding me it's not real, but I guess I'm trying to look at it as we don't know all this yet.
That's true.
I'm trying to be in the moment that this is written.
Well, I think she is claiming that the intentional part is that Greg, by promising to stay in a relationship with her and then not doing it, she had told him how horrible that would be for her. And therefore, by not agreeing to date her, he intended to break her heart, because promises mean everything. And they should, but that's just not reality, is all I'm saying. Now, the legal argument for this is the summary judgment is proper where there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact, and the moving party is entitled to summary judgment on the claim. All right, if she's not going to prove in any way, shape, or form how this has affected her with actual proof, not just saying, well, it hurt. Yeah, you have to have doctors, medical stuff happening as well. Which can be tricky. There's a lot of, I think, mental symptoms, right, that are hard to lay out in most cases.
It's debatable whether those mental symptoms were there before or not.
That's true. Created 15 numbers. I love that. What court are we in here? Well, we are currently in Arizona talking about the Laura Owens saga. If you don't know, oh boy. It's a doozy. Now, the summary judgment is also proper where a party fails to make a showing sufficient to establish the existence of an elemental essential in the party's case, and on which that party will bear the burden of proof at trial. So they're saying, because Laura claimed it, she has to prove that it happened and that is what she's experiencing. And if she doesn't, then the defense should automatically get a summary of judgment, basically. So to defeat a motion for summary judgment, the non-moving party must show that competent evidence is available, which will justify a trial on the issue. Hearsay or speculation is not competent evidence. Absent a factual basis for a party's claims, legal theories on which said claims are based, a list of witnesses, supporting documentation, or a computation of damages, there exists no genuine issue of material fact that would preclude the court from granting summary judgment against the plaintiff. So, girl, where your receipts at is basically where they at.
Well,
You haven't brought it up in the last 2 years
started.
that we've been here. So she has brought no materials of facts about anything except for her P test. That's the only one where she's like, see, it's real. Everything else I've submitted was done by Greg because he hacked my stuff. So now,
which makes no sense.
I know, it makes no sense. So B, absent a manifestation of physical symptoms, Laura cannot assert a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. So Laura simply has not alleged or even disclosed a physical manifestation of symptoms associated with her claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and accordingly, Laura's claim must fail as a matter of law. You got to prove it, Laura. Now, Arizona courts apply a case-by-case analysis to determine whether a plaintiff has offered sufficient proof of severe emotional distress. So it is up to the court, but you got to bring something to the table. However, Arizona courts have observed that mere emotional distress and severe emotional distress should be demarcated. As a result, crying, being stressed and upset, and having occasional trouble sleeping is not enough to establish severe emotional distress. Okay. Yeah. No crying. No crying. What did the defendant allegedly do to cause the rest? Okay, so you're not familiar with this case. Let's do a brief catch up real quick for Russ here, because it sounds like you're very interested in what's happening here. So plaintiff Laura Owens is accusing her ex, who she went on 2 dates with, all right, of getting her pregnant. She wasn't pregnant at all. And that he used abortion coercion into getting rid of the babies because, babies, there's 2. There's not 2. And that she said she would abort the babies if he would have a relationship with her. And so he was like, yeah, fine, whatever. Just, we don't want baby. We went on 2 dates, woman, like, fine. And then she's like, but if you don't date me, I'm going to keep the babies. Okay, I'll take all these abortion pills and say that they don't work, probably because she's not fucking pregnant. But anyway, she's not. And so she sues him for this in court. And that's been her whole thing here, is that he broke his promise about dating me. And I'm very upset about it. And you want to know the shocker, Russ? Greg's not the first guy she's done this to. Yep, not the first guy. There's more. So definitely follow along. It is absolute nonsense, but she's now facing 14 felony charges for her nonsense and these horrible things she's done and said to these men. So it's a rabbit hole.
Hey, watch it, Savage. It's not all chicks.
That is true. Text says the important part is to see where she pivoted with Clayton from Greg's case to his. Laura learned and adjusted her behavior through this process. And that she does. That she does. Nor the less. You're also not wrong there, Sean, because I too believe she will continue to do this over and over and over again. But let's get back to this here. So that's a brief little catch up. That is like barely the tip. That's like a snowflake on the iceberg. Let me tell you what. Now, conversely, a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress may be established where severe emotional distress is result in physical symptoms like high blood pressure, a nervous tic, chest pains, fatigue, and dizziness. At a minimum, a claimant must show that their severe emotional distress manifested into physical symptoms directly and proximately caused by the severe emotional distress. And the Arizona District Court followed step with this conclusion. So basically, prove it. Prove that something actually happened. Besides, he promised me it, and I'm just so sad about it all. I'm so sad. He made me a promise.
Girl, I thought you found a snake under your chair the way you went.
He just made me all these promises, and I told him I would drop the lawsuit with prejudice if he would just date me. You're so wild, man. Wild.
Wow.
Now, based on existing authority, a claimant must, at a minimum, disclose a manifestation of physical symptoms associated with the alleged severe emotional distress. And based on the record, Laura has not even alleged that she suffered physical symptoms associated with her alleged severe emotional distress, which
give her a minute. She'll make up something.
I am surprised it wasn't in the initial complaint, because boy, does she love just putting whatever everywhere.
She forgot she had to do that.
Right? She's like, oh shit,
but
I forgot.
I
don't know how any of this actually works. I guess that's what happens when you represent yourself for like over a year. So, indeed, the complaint makes no mention of physical symptoms, and Laura's disclosure statement does not even allege that she suffered from physical symptoms as a direct and proximate result of her claim. In sum, the record presents nothing but conclusory, baseless claims pertaining to Laura's alleged damages. Laura has failed to meet her evidentiary burden to bring her claim to a jury and/or court, and accordingly, Laura's claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress must fail as a matter of law, and as a result, the court should grant defendant's motion. I don't understand why it hasn't been done already. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I think the judges like the drama.
I think so. Now, C, their argument for C is Laura cannot receive an award of attorney's fees and costs under a tort claim, and Laura does not demonstrate her damages sufficient to withstand a motion for summary judgment. Because remember, they're wanting the judge to rule in their favor. They're like, the defense has no proof of anything because Greg did it all because he's a hacker. Now, incredibly, Laura seeks attorney's fees as part of her tort claim. As with any tort claim, a claimant must demonstrate damages to prove a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. And as Laura noted in her motion for summary judgment, quote, failure to disclose what damages you are seeking is fatal to any attempt to collect those damages. See also her motion for summary judgment, which we've read those already. Now, here through her disclosures, Laura only claims that she is entitled to an award of attorney's fees and costs. However, a claimant in a tort action is not entitled to an award of attorney's fees and costs. Indeed, the Arizona Court of Appeals has held that the failure to comply with the standard of care, which does not arise out of contract, does not result in an award of attorney fees and costs. So, this trends dangerously close to sanctionable for counsel attorney fees. Oh, that's interesting. Crocs, Subaru, and a whistle.
Hey, I like
I love that. I love that. Now here, Laura alleges damages are so unspecified, undisclosed accounting of all costs and fees associated with the matter. Notwithstanding Laura's failure to identify a statutory basis for recovering of attorney's fees and costs, plaintiff cannot recover attorney's fees and costs. A claimant can never recover attorney's fees and costs in a tort action that is not interwoven with a contract action. Laura has not identified any contract action that would support an award of attorney's fees and costs. Even if such an award is warranted, plaintiff has not disclosed a computation of damages. There's no work things, literally nothing she wants to give because she doesn't have a job. Now, even allegedly, well, that's what she told the federal government, but
So is her attorney still here at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
when there's a response to this, it will be the attorney response?
Yeah, it'll be Kyle. Kyle O'Dwyer.
Okay, I was just curious if we were actually going to see like actual words or just
Well, maybe.
Well,
maybe. But so for the foregoing reasons, Laura has failed to present evidence of a physical manifestation of injury resulting from her alleged emotional distress. Laura also has failed to allege the appropriate damages for her tort claim, warranting dismissal as a result. Summary judgment is proper on Laura's claim. So that's what they're saying. They're saying, prove that you have some sort of physical manifestation or something, and they haven't judged. So please do a summary judgment in our favor because they've proved literally nothing the whole time. So I'm surprised. Respa says, I'm surprised there hasn't been some kind of state-mandated mental status psychological examination of Laura, right? In light of her prior conduct, actions, the pending criminal charges. I mean, this is one of the most bizarre cases to follow that it's just like, what? How does this keep happening? The fact that any of this has went on for as long as it has is shocking. All right. So we'll move over to the next document. This is also produced by the defense here. This includes their separate statement of facts to go with their motion for summary judgment. And so this will be helpful for you too, Rez, to see what more of the details. So Greg provides the following statement. Oh, let me make this bigger for you guys. I'm sorry. I always forget to do that. So rude. There we go. Okay. So Greg provides the following statement of facts in support of his concurrently filed motion for summary judgment. So these are the facts, Judge, that you consider in considering this. This action concerns in relevant part Laura Owens' claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Laura claimed that Greg owed Laura the sum of $45,000 based on the following allegations. Okay. That Laura became pregnant with Greg's child on June or July. Laura became pregnant on her second date with Greg on or around June 20th after only 2 dates. Laura informed Greg of the pregnancy and he denied it, after which he forced Laura to have multiple pregnancy tests and a doctor's appointment because they used condoms, if I remember right. Correct? I believe so. And that's why he was like, I don't think so. Though you can still get pregnant for those, but he was pretty like, I don't think so.
I don't remember, honestly.
It's always so much. Now, once Greg finally learned the pregnancy was real, by the way, in case you're wondering, what authenticated that it was real was just a urine test, which doesn't actually mean a whole lot. So, as we learned, she loves buying the pregnancy hormone. So once he learned that the pregnancy was real, Greg employed false promises and verbal and emotional abuse to coerce plaintiff into getting an abortion. Upon Laura's first attempt to terminate the pregnancy, Greg blocked Laura from all communication. When Laura informed Greg of her failed attempt at termination, Greg again employed false promises and verbal and emotional abuse to coerce Laura again. During this time, Laura clearly expressed her desire to not terminate the pregnancy. In relevant part, the complaint also contained a recitation, words are hard today, of the elements of an intentional infliction of emotional distress claim. Laura also claimed her attorney's fees and costs. Otherwise, the complaint does not describe any injuries associated with Laura's claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Remember, all that stuff I just read is everything Laura is saying on her side. Now, the complaint also attaches text messages between Laura and defendant most of all, which were not disclosed pursuant to Arizona code, and Laura's initial disclosure statement and supporting documentation, which they were like, we brought some receipts. Now, under Laura's IDS, Laura alleges that she suffered severe emotional distress, like severe anxiety, depression, shock, and utter guilt, not regular guilt, utter guilt. Now, Laura also alleges that Greg intentionally infliction of emotional distress exacerbated Laura's pre-existing mental health conditions, but failed to specify which mental health conditions were exacerbated. Notably, Laura does not allege in her complaint or IDS that her severe emotional distress manifested into physical symptoms or that she sought treatment for any physical symptoms. I mean, I'm sure she made appointments, which counts as going to see the doctor, according to Laura. So she totally did. She made the appointments, guys. It's fine. Now, per the IDS, Laura does not seek any expenses associated with any expenses or treatment she sought in connection with her claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, which is interesting.
I was about to say, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you be like, yeah, here's all my therapy appointments.
Yeah, I'm in therapy once a week, and that costs a lot of money. Therapy bills are not cheap.
No way. Hello, Laura Owens. I remember this was a really bad day. Hope you're doing well today. Now, Laura also, wait, I'm sorry. Okay, there's the expenses stream. So we're on 11. Laura also does not seek any damages associated with a physical manifestations of symptoms connected to her claim. Instead, Laura effectively seeks an award of her reasonable attorney's fees and costs as her damages. The award Laura seeks shall be computed by accurate accounting of all costs and fees associated with the case, billed at reasonable rates. Is anticipated that the damages will amount to at least $40,000 due to the trauma that Laura suffered.
So what was the point? I don't want any damages for for any of the things you did. I just want you to pay the attorney fees that I had to pay to take you to court. What?
And then date me.
It doesn't make any sense.
Just date me.
This really doesn't make any sense.
This was her just trying to get him to date her.
Right.
It's so crazy. It doesn't even make any sense. So Laura has not disclosed a computation of her damages. In support of her claim, Laura disclosed the following: the gynecological test report from the labs, the P-test, a positive COVID-19 antigen test because she had COVID at one time, apparently, an unspecified receipt, which is this stuff's so.
Wait, she got COVID, and that's his fault, and she wants to become. Can we do that? Can we? You gave me the flu.
You gave me COVID because I tried to come over and give you soup while I was allegedly pregnant with twins, and I probably shouldn't have been there, but I thought you were dead. Remember, she thought he was dead because he didn't answer the text or call.
Oh my God.
Crazy dance.
You can, okay.
And then medication instructions from, I didn't look up how to say this, but I'm pretty sure it's choice. I think the X is supposed to be a Z. So choice would be my guess. I don't know. Pertaining to the administration of mifepristone and misoprostol, which is what we're going to be reading today, friends. So a letter from Choice and an informed consent form, communications with representatives from Choice, a urine pregnancy test from One Medical, and a letter concerning the same. Communication.
$1. You can buy those at the Dollar Tree.
Right. Communication with Greg, medical record from a visit with Julie Ulrich, nurse practitioner, a medical bill from Bright Healthcare, and an order of protection or petition for order of protection against Greg, because of course. And then messages with Circa Lighting, which is Greg's job, because she goes there. And notably, none of Laura's disclosed documents relate to her alleged damages or her claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Well, isn't that cute? So cute. Let's see what chat's saying before we go on to the next one here.
Are you a lawyer, Russ? I'm curious.
If she wasn't constantly changing her MO in ways that aren't obvious until it's too late, I wouldn't think what I do, but she does. I also believe it's likely sneak up on her and just slip. Oh, I don't read. Sean says, I wouldn't put it past her to buy a positive COVID test at this point. I'm agreed. She loves ordering stuff off the internet.
Maybe she got the COVID test mixed up with the pregnancy test. I hear that happens to people a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was supposed to put this COVID test up my vagina, not my nose. Oh, I didn't know the difference between the two. Trust me, that joke will land here in about 15 pages. Okay. She's so something, I'll tell you what. Dan Montana. Oh, there you are. But I don't think you were around, Dan Montana. I just wanted to say thank you again, in case you didn't hear, for the super chat that you left after we went off air on Tuesday. So thank you for the support for that. We really appreciate it. Dan Montana says she learned and tried to get Clayton to sign a dating contract. Parties will date with intention. She's like a cyborg learning as she goes. She is. Can you imagine? Oh, gosh. The fact that she thinks this is how you can get people to date you. It's so weird. So weird. Hi, Lainey. Hope you're doing well. Rest says, so she is seeking cost and attorney's fees, but not damages associated with her emotions, distress for physical injuries. What's going on here?
Exactly.
Welcome
what I said.
to the crazy train. Welcome.
Oh,
Note the name Julie Ulrich. Wasn't she listed in the the investigative report for Laura's felony charges? I think she was.
I feel like that was 100 years ago.
It was. It was 100 years ago. Oh, here's Dawn. Dawn, would anyone like to sign a dating contract with me? We don't have to actually date. You just have to commit to loading the dishwasher correctly and not leaving wet clothes in the washer. Oh, no. I don't know if we could get together, Dawn. I'm sorry. Don't worry. You can sue me for breaking my promises. It's fine. Ghosting tax. $40,000 for ghosting. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Pretty much. Have you tried threatening to sue your family? I'll love you if you just, do this thing.
I'm writing that down.
Laura Owens. A cyborg is one of the nicest things I ever been called. I believe that. I do believe that because I don't call you nice things. Giving me so much confidence right now. What's your email?
Be careful.
Oh, so she was listed in the investigative report. I thought so. Hi, Amos. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So, which one is this? This is the separate statement of facts. Okay. So, Exhibit A. All right. This is the plaintiff's initial disclosure statement, which, okay, yeah, we're going to read on this one so I don't have to read it again on a later one. All right. So, this is Laura's initial disclosure statement here. It's a little fuzzy. Sorry. That's their problem. Doesn't have anything.
That's their grave rubbing.
That's their grave rubbing. We've come so far since Michael Maricini's court documents. All right. So here's what Laura, is disclosing in her statement. Laura Owens, by and through her attorneys, submit her initial rule disclosure statement. Okay. The contents of this disclosure statement are provisional and subject to supplementation, amendment and explanation, change and amplification. This disclosure statement is based upon information currently known and believed to be accurate and may change as further information is obtained from investigation and discovery. Okay. So here is Laura's claims of factual basis in detail. So Laura Owens became pregnant with Greg's child not long after knowing each other. Greg demanded confirmation of the pregnancy first by demanding access to Laura's confidential patient portal, which Laura granted by requesting a video appointment with one of Laura's healthcare providers to confirm the pregnancy, which also occurred, and a note written by Dr. Jones, who is a real person. We've learned he is real because I was like, that is the most made up doctor name I've ever heard. And it turns out, no, he is a real person, which was also provided to him. In all instances, the pregnancy was confirmed by lab results and verbal confirmation by a healthcare provider. Again, only confirmed through a urine test. No physical examinations of any kind, no ultrasounds, just a pee test. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Bruce. Well, you're not Bruce. You're Pam, who is also amazing. But hello, Bruce. Hope you're doing great today. All right. So Laura and Greg discussed the pregnancy and whether or not Laura should obtain an abortion. Greg coerced Laura to obtain an abortion by threatening to call law enforcement on her, threatening to withhold financial support from her, threatening to destroy her reputation, and emotionally and mentally abusing her into submitting to his will.
Wow.
We've read the text messages. And we're probably going to reread some of these text messages now that we have all of this information between when we initially read them to now. So we're like, we can...
In order.
Yeah, they seem in order anyway, but who knows? Now, Greg claims... Wait, is that where I was? Oh, see the complaint, which is incorporated herein for additional facts relevant to this analysis. So Greg claims that the pregnancy was falsified, that correspondence with Uncle Joe Cotchett and assistants and attorneys at his firm were falsified. Yes, Rez, if you're still listening, she has a family friend lawyer in California who she claimed was going to be representing her. They were not. She allegedly made false email exchanges because the people that she claimed didn't even work there. But then she blamed it all on Greg and said Greg hacked her stuff and she didn't have anything to do with it, which is not true. And she denies that, I'm sorry. And attorneys were falsified and that the complaint was filed in an attempt to coerce Greg into a relationship with Laura. Laura vehemently denies the allegation that she falsified any documents and denies that Greg was damaged in any way. Greg falsified multiple documents, not her, and that Laura did not have an ultrasound. Oh, because I forgot, she stole another lady's ultrasound off the internet who lost one of her twin babies and then photoshopped it, paid somebody on Fiverr, and then sent it to Greg. She is crazy. She further denies that Greg had any loss of income due to her actions, which I don't know how she can claim that. How would she possibly know these things? It doesn't even make sense.
Well,
doesn't even make sense to me.
She called work. She verified.
Hi, Kimbo. Hello, and welcome. Well, welcome. Hope you're doing well. And who has 7 felonies from this case? Yes, Dan Montana. It's not Greg. Guess who got felonies for those specific things? Laura. Now, here's her legal theories for intentional infliction of emotional distress. A cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress is proven if a party can show 1, extreme and outrageous conduct. I don't think anything he said was extreme or outrageous. She was very extreme and outrageous. And basically was extorting. It felt a lot like extortion to me, but I'm not a lawyer, so what do I know? And 2, the opposing party intends or recklessly disregards the near certainty that distress will result from the conduct. 3, severe emotional distress occurs as a result of Greg's conduct. And 4, damage is due to that emotional distress. And that's what she wants the $40,000 for. Oh, that cup did not keep that coffee very warm. I shouldn't have been lazy and washed the other one, but that's okay. So Greg's conduct, as described above, meets this definition. I don't know about that. Further, Laura suffered severe emotional distress as a result, in that she suffered and continues to suffer from severe anxiety, depression, shock, and utter guilt due to the decision Greg coerced her to make to terminate the pregnancy and his other actions in pretending to be other individuals in order to continue discussions with her. Even though Greg is like, girl, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I do not like you. Any pre-existing mental health conditions were exacerbated by Greg's conduct. So, okay. All right. So the next one is intentional infliction of emotional distress by Greg. Greg cannot establish extreme and outrageous conduct, severe emotional distress, or that he has suffered any damages. What a bold sentence that is. I respectfully disagree, because this has been extreme and outrageous for him. Now, the counterclaim is devoid of any factual allegations regarding these issues, and the disclosure statements likewise include no factual allegations as to how Greg has suffered any emotional distress or damages. Further, Laura believes Mr. Gillespie continued to be employed and therefore did not suffer damages.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bold. Oh, Yaku says the Fiverr, I've never used Fiverr before, so says the Fiverr watermark indicates that she didn't pay the Fiverr contractor for the work they did on the image. Oh, that sounds,
Yeah, I don't
this
know
sounds
how
like
Fiverr
her.
works. I have perused it before.
Oh, I have no idea how it works at all. So
Spoiler alert, not everything costs $5. I thought it was like Five Below, but it's not.
I didn't know that. I assumed, what will you do for $5? I don't know. Why wouldn't you do that?
Not in this economy.
Right. Now, this is who they would call as witnesses if this goes to trial, right? So witnesses, Laura, of course, and she is expected to testify as to her knowledge of the subject matter of the complaint, her conversations with the parties and witnesses, and the damages sustained by her. Greg, they're going to call Greg, and Greg is expected to testify as to his knowledge of the subject matter of Laura's complaint, his conversations with the parties and witnesses, and the defenses alleged by Greg. Then they're going to be ballsy and call Uncle Joe Cotchett, which is interesting. Mr. Cotchett is expected to testify as to his knowledge of the subject matter of Laura's complaint and his conversations with the parties and witnesses and the defenses alleged by Greg. Dr. John Jones, who's expected to testify on his knowledge of Laura's complaint, his conversation.
He's a real person?
He is a real person.
Because that was a very generic name.
It was. Because
I just assumed she made up all these people.
I mean, probably. But no, that he's a real person. And he's going to testify on his knowledge of the complaint, conversations, blah, blah, blah. Julie Ulrich, the national nurse practitioner. Oh, is that the person that she has the text messages with that we're going to be reading here soon? I just put that together. I don't know. No, because that's from the person at Choice. So, all right. So Ms. Ulrich is expected to testify as to her knowledge of the complaint, conversations, blah, blah, blah. Then somebody who's blocked out here, and Ms. S, we'll call them, is expected to testify as to her knowledge of Laura's complaint and her own personal history with Greg, her conversations with parties and witnesses and the defenses alleged by defendants. Oh, is that his ex that Laura said also had a restraining order against him? Is that true? Or is this like her friend from the Mike Maricini case where she said, oh, she's going to say all these things. And the friend comes back later and is like, what? No, I didn't even do any of that. I didn't even write that. What are you talking about? Is that the same thing? What about Ariana Huffington? Is Ariana Huffington coming into this? Probably. Why not? Just pull everybody into everything. Might as well. And then there's DH, who's expected to testify with his conversations. I don't know who that's supposed to be. And then Circa Lighting employees. These employees are expected to testify to their knowledge of the subject matter of Greg's counterclaim, their conversations and employment information, along with whoever the hell else they want to call. So, excuse me, apologize. They might have expert testimony to come in and talk about emotional distress. I would think you would have, some experts that you would need to verify your emotional distress things, and computation and measures of damages. Again, she's anticipated that the damages will be at least $40,000, and these exhibits that we're about to go through. So that's what they plan on bringing up. And this is, I'm going to have to make this a little bit smaller here. This is Buffy had to step away. Well, okay. This is from, let me see here, Sonora Quest Laboratories on February 8th, 2022. Okay. She does some gynecological testing on her cervix. A thin PAP test has been evaluated. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay, good. So she went to a gyno on February 8th, 2022. And I don't understand what any of this stuff means. So I'm going to have you look at it. Why she's even here. I think she's just getting a PAP exam. So I don't know why.
It looks like she has STD tests going on here.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming it's like a full PAP workup. Yeah. Do they not do that for everybody during PAPs? I don't know.
Wait, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. But do you see anything on there? Because I don't know what any of this means. I'm going to let you look at it for 1 second while I go refill my coffee. And I will be right back, okay? Because my coffee's cold and we can't have that.
It doesn't look like there's anything in it that would raise any thoughts for me. It just, everything looks fine. It's a pap smear. It says the pap smear has been evaluated and nothing was detected. Everything looks fine. Negative for STDs. So I don't see anything in it. It just looks like a regular pap smear to me. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. It looks like a PAP. It does say it. This is a thin prep PAP test, has been evaluated with the assistance of thin prep imaging system. You usually have the option of asking for a STD test when you have your pap smear. So it just looks like she opted to get the STD test at the same time as the pap smear and everything. Everything looks fine.
Okay. All right, cool.
I mean, it says thin prep pap test, so it looks like a pap smear. And then HPV. And then you got your chlamydia.
So it's all good to go. Okay.
Everything's good to go. It just looks like a regular pap smear with an option for STD. Because they usually give you that choice now when you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
To go ahead.
And I'm like, well, you're already down there. Might as well just, even if I've been with B for 14 years, I'm like, well, you're down there already. So just go ahead. Why not?
I mean, yeah. And I mean, when was that? April 28th?
No, February 8th, 2022.
Okay,
so
well, this is not even around the time of our pregnancy, so right. I don't know why is this being submitted for any type of
evidence. That's why I had you look at it, because I was like, I don't see anything. This is well after that. I don't even understand why she would submit this, but okay.
Does she not think that they're going to have doctors on their side to look at this and go like, this has no relevancy? It doesn't state anything.
Right. It's the only like further documentation she ever went to a gyno. What I would have liked
it's not further, it was before. Correct?
No, this is after. She's in court during this time. So this is after.
Okay, yeah. So it was like 2021, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Sorry,
I think
my dates.
Girl, it's a mess.
How pregnant is she supposed to be?
Not pregnant.
Well, supposed. Oh, that's right. She had an abortion, maybe. See, that's the confusing part.
Because that was like in July or August or something like that. It was August.
Yeah. So
I don't know why she submitted it, because she submits shit and that's about it. And this is her COVID test in January, just to let you guys know. She had COVID for some reason that nobody cares about. We
all know how to take one of those.
She also submits a receipt that literally says nothing. It looks like it's maybe, I don't know. They didn't know either. So, okay.
Cool.
Now, here's what I've been most excited to learn.
Okay, so choice is a thing. It's CHOIX.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's choice. I don't know. I didn't look up if that's how they say it, but I'm going to go with yes. Sorry, guys.
I thought it was a typo.
No. It was not a typo. It's a real thing. And this verifies that she did, in fact, get the abortion pills. Those she did. Those were real.
Okay.
So now we're going to merge Couch Quote with
Llama, was this made
Laura learns about. Or was this?
I'm questioning everything at this point. Like, is any of it real?
Yes, because as we've learned, a lot of it, not even real. Not even real. Okay, so now we're going to learn what Laura was given when she got this medication. This all comes to any person that requested. Okay. And it's not that confusing. As you'll see, it's very confusing for Laura. All right. So let's talk about this, because I'm very interested in learning more about this, because I just don't know how it works. Okay. So we're going to do that. So here's the medication instructions and schedule. All right. This contains information about preparing for your abortion, a medication schedule, side effects, and when to seek urgent care. Please read through the entire handout before starting your abortion. Feel free to print this for your records. All right. This is all stuff Laura should have read.
Please read the instructions before starting your abortion. That just sounds so weird.
It does. I'm shocked too, honestly, Kimbo, that there hasn't been a request for psychic evaluations, to be quite honest with you. I am very surprised about that, but what can you do? All right. So preparation for medication. So the medications, you will receive one package mailed from our partner pharmacy, Honeybee Health. This package will contain a total of 4 medications that you will use for the abortion process. Mifepristone, misoprostol, ibuprofen for pain, which is a fucking joke, and ondansetron for nausea, vomiting prevention, either due to pregnancy or caused by misoprostol. Listen, I'm going to pronounce these things wrong, just to let you know. But also, I'm going to tell you right now, the ibuprofen is probably not going to help, right? When I was having my miscarriage, the doctor gave me 2, I think it was Vicodin maybe, which was not enough at all. So, and I imagine that this ibuprofen wasn't enough either for what happens, because it was not enough. And you don't even know when it's going to be the worst. You're like, is it the worst yet? And you're like, nope, I don't think so. It sucks. I guess I'll just hold on because I don't know how worse it's going to be, you know? No, this is not the morning after pill. No. That's a completely different thing. You have to take that in a very small window of time. This is the abortion pill for, I want to say, under 10 weeks, 8 weeks. Because everything is very dependent on how far along it is and what you can use. So no, this is actual abortion pill, not morning after or plan B or whatever you want to call it. So, all right. So shipping, Honeybee will ship your medications via UPS, and they will email you the tracking number from this place once your package has shipped. Packages are shipped via UPS and should arrive within 1 to 2 business days. If it has been 2 full business days, Monday through Friday, since you ordered, your order has been processed, please let us know. Don't worry, we will judge your pronunciation with side-eye and love. Exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, Dan Montana coming in with some stuff. Woodnick did ask the judge for mental health records when asking the judge to make LO produce records. He said something along the lines of, we need to know why this crazy bitch would do this. Oh, that's funny. No, but you can, depending what your claim is in civil court. You know, when you're claiming intentional, infliction of emotional distress, and you say it affects your pre-existing conditions like depression, anxiety, they're probably going to ask for your mental health records if you've been getting treatment for it and things like that. It does. I mean, I've seen that happen before. So, but it does work differently in the 2 courts. So I don't know all the things when it comes to civil stuff. If you'd like to request a pharmacy, you can talk to these people, whatever. Other medication information. All patients will receive 2 doses of misoprostol in your package. This second dose will be reserved for patients 9 to 10 weeks along in pregnancy or in case you need it. Our medication instructions and side effects and refer handout will provide further instructions and make sure you have everything else you may want or need at home, such as menstrual pads and panty liners, because there's going to be blood everywhere. Heating pad, because it's painful. And soothing foods, your favorite snacks, clear liquids, anything you want to eat or drink if you weren't feeling well. Now, okay, here's the instructions. Let's see if Laura did things right. So step 1, you will take mifepristone first, all right? 1 pill swallowed with a big glass of water. That doesn't sound hard. This medication should not cause any or many side effects, and you can go about your normal life this day. Some people may experience vaginal bleeding with this medication, but it is not expected. Even if you have bleeding after the mifepristone, you will continue on to step 2. Step 2, you will take misoprostol 6 to 48 hours later, which is a very huge time frame, depending on the route you choose, vaginal or buccal, which is interesting. You will also take some medication to manage side effects of misoprostol. Cramping and bleeding normally occur a few hours after the misoprostol, indicating the abortion is in process. If you are between 9 to 10 weeks pregnancy, you will take 2 doses of the misoprostol 4 hours apart. So they are saying once you take this part, there will be blood. Okay. You are going to know that something is happening.
And I will say that I'm looking at the Honeybee website, and they have directions, and it clearly says, wait, I just lost it. It said, if you don't have bleeding, you must contact your provider for additional special. If you don't bleed.
Yeah.
Like, you have to call your doctor if there is no bleeding.
Because that's what anyone would do.
Yeah.
Even if there
Be sure
is.
to contact your provider if you don't bleed after taking it.
Right. So oh wait, I already did that part. Okay. So
I guess
below.
the problem I have is she didn't know if it took or not.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't she call? It literally says to call.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait till the text message is buff. Wait, just you wait. So below are instructions for the 2 preferred administrative methods for misoprostol. After you read through them, you will decide on the date and time. Okay. So for the vaginal route, which I didn't even know this was a thing. I know we've talked about it, but I've never had to take anything that goes up my lady bits. So interesting. This route is recommended if you are already experiencing nausea and vomiting related to pregnancy. Okay. Yeah, if you got morning sickness and stuff that first trimester, that'll probably make it difficult. Okay. This can be done as soon as 6 hours after you swallow the mifepristone, but no later than 48 hours, 2 days. Okay. You need to wash.
Did she just forget? I mean, how do you just forget? Oh yeah, I was supposed to have an abortion.
I know, right? Oh, well, I swallowed it. I don't know. I put it up my butthole. I didn't know.
I forget pills too, but this one I don't think I'd forget.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And if you're going to do this, you need to wash and dry your hands well, lie comfortably on the bed or floor in a position where your back is propped up against something. Okay. Oh, okay. They blocked it up for us. Place 4 tabs. Oh, in vagina, all the way at the back of your vagina near your cervix. How do you even? I don't even know how you do that. How do you know when you've reached the back? And what are you putting them in with? Your fingers?
Like it's like a tampon.
Does it come in like a tampon?
Before there were applicators, you had to use your finger. This was like before applicators.
So there is an applicator in this?
No. I don't know.
I'm
saying that
into your vag.
This is not the stream for this question. This seems like a TMI conversation. However, you can, girl.
Oh, here comes Amos saving the day.
In there.
Amos, they usually give you an applicator.
There are many things that fit in there.
It essentially stops at your cervix. Okay, well, I'm just from the angle. I'm just not sure. I'm not the one that usually spends a lot of time there. Anyway, okay, so that's how that happens. We're all learning together, so it's fine. So then
even if you don't need an applicator, your finger does work.
I guess, yeah. Just never really thought about it before. Now stay in that position for approximately 30 minutes. Watch TV, scroll through the choice Instagram, because that's what I would want to do during this time. But okay, read a book, take a nap. I don't know how you're going to be taking a nap in that position, but okay. Before getting up and moving, going to the bathroom, etc. The pills should begin to dissolve in your vagina. Oh, if they fall out of the vagina after 30 minutes when you get up, it is okay to throw them away. Okay. Are they just, loosely coming out of there? That's weird.
It dissolves. Okay. Ma'am, do you know how vagina works?
I do, but I've never shoved pills up my vagina to think, oh yeah, they just plop right out.
Well,
I do my Kegels, lady.
Yeah, but if it dissolves, it becomes a fluid and it mixes with the inside fluids, which your body is naturally creates its own lubricant when things are put in there. True. and your body knows that there's a foreign object being shoved in there. So normally it has a flushing process, which would mix with the medication, which would try to flush it out.
Yeah. Well, okay, that makes sense. And just a reminder, I can't visualize things, okay? So I can't imagine myself doing this. Like, I just assume it's pills falling out.
Well, I mean, it's like a dissolvable tab. If you've ever given your child like a dissolvable tablet, you put it in your tongue, it mixes with the liquid, and it kind of just melts like a melt away.
Oh.
You have bodily fluids which will interact with it, which will help it absorb. And like I said, the inside of a vagina is made of the same type of skin as your buccal cavity, and is very absorbent.
Everybody touching the inside of their cheek and be like,
it's the same.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is the exact same. Yes.
They quickly dissolve. Okay. All right. We're all learning today. Hey, there's nothing wrong with learning new things.
If you are listening at work, I apologize in advance.
Yeah, but that's okay. We've probably read this more than Laura ever did in the first place. So,
Lainey, I was not going to say that out loud, but that is exactly what I was getting to.
Oh, no. See?
It's the same.
Never really thought about that before. Well, the more you know. Oh, wait.
That sounds like an episode for Llama Learns.
I was going to say, I think we have, don't we have that somewhere? A sound effect, sound something. I don't know.
Yes.
We did. I don't know where it went. Anyway, okay, moving on. Okay, you have the vajay choice of putting pills in there. So I did not have vaginal flushing on my bingo card for today. Well, here we are. Hi, Teresia. Just popping in to say hi. Well, it's interesting.
What a time to enter.
All right. So the other option is the buccal, putting it in your cheek. This can only be done 24 to 48 hours after mifepristone. She has to wait a whole day? Okay. Place 4 tabs between the cheek and the gums on either side of your mouth, top, bottom, or both. Let them dissolve for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, swish your mouth with water and swallow the remainder of the pill. Most will dissolve in your cheeks. Please note this method may cause more nausea. So you're just cutting all over the place. Okay. So but the vajay one you can do sooner. Is that because it takes less time then to get to where it needs? More than, or it takes more time to get where it needs than through the mouth? I don't know.
No, anything going through the vagina would probably take about as much time. It's the same absorption.
But why is the time difference on the two? That's what I want to know. Because this one's like,
what is the time difference on the mouth?
The vajay is 6 hours after you swallow, but no later than 48 hours. So as soon as 6 hours, you can put it in the vajay. The mouth is only 24 to 48 hours after the mifepristone or whatever. So interesting. All right. So those are your two choices. Chat, which way are you choosing? Are you going? No, I'm not going to finish that sentence. It's not appropriate, Llama. Don't do that. All right. So
I would think digestion rate would have something to do with it. I mean, it's got to go through like several organs.
Well, I guess one way's quicker, huh? It's like right there where it needs to be. So
I don't know.
Okay.
I am not a doctor.
All right. So now there's your medication schedule. All right. Please note this schedule is for your personal use to keep track of all of this because the time is a lot. Sit and spin.
We don't do time math here.
No. Now, please make sure to check to message your choice provider with the following information. It's very important that you do this, right? For it to work. They've made this very clear. The date and time, you take the mifepristone. That's the very first one. And then the day, time, and route, your vajay or your mouth, you take the mifepristol. All right. So example, they even tell you how to message your provider. Example, hi, I plan to take my mifepristone on April 2nd at 10 a.m. and my misoprostol at 4 on April 3rd at 12 p.m. buccal route. Thank you. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how you could possibly get this wrong. So, oh, hey, fast fashion. Well, hello and welcome. It's recommended if you live in a state where abortion is illegal because there might still be residue in the vagina. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yes, the vodka soaked tampons. That just sounds, people not know how, it does not take very long to get drunk from a shot. It's like 10 minutes, like not even that. I don't understand why that works. They literally wrote this for a child. That they did. It's pretty simple. It's not hard to mess this up, right? Step 1, they've laid it out for you. You swallow the mifepristone 200 milligram pill by mouth with a big glass of water and you just have to write the date and the time. They say optional. If you are already experiencing any nausea or vomiting from the pregnancy, we strongly recommend taking 1 dose of 4 milligram, whatever, nausea pill 30 minutes to an hour prior to the mifepristone. Write that time above the time you will take the mifepristone. It's not rocket science. It's rocket science over here. So
it's not rocket surgery.
Nope, it's not rocket surgery. Maybe she got confused because she took the Tony Robbins and anal weekend route.
Oh, you think she thought suppository and stuck it in her butt?
I don't know. I forgot about the Tony Robbins butt conference thing. Interesting. It's not rocket assembly. You might think so. Now, step 2. The misoprostol. Now, before using the misoprostol, we recommend taking your pain medication and nausea medication if desired. This will reduce unpleasant side effects, which is really probably understating that, from misoprostol. Write down the time you take each medication. This will help you remember the schedule of medications. Look at this. If you take the ibuprofen, boom, just write it here. Not that hard. If you got to take the nausea stuff, boom, they left a space for you to write there. Not that hard. And then take the misoprostol 800, the tabs, date and time, and which way you're doing it. And if you're still experiencing that sickness, you can take other stuff afterwards. Now, your bottle will have 8 tablets of the misoprostol inside. The remaining 4 tablets after the first dose is reserved for patients between 9 and 10 weeks of pregnancy, or for those who require a second dose. Your choice provider will let you know if you require a second dose. See abortion side effects and a referral patient handout for when to contact the provider. Okay. Step 3 is only for 9 to 10 weeks. And when she was doing this, she was 6, 7 weeks, I think. So,
Does she even know?
Does she even know? Zoe has just woken up for the day. So I need to go let her out.
And cats are driving me crazy too.
So if you don't mind reading this part real quick while I let them out and bring them back.
Okay, where do we leave off?
This is a brand new page. So right from the top.
So continue to take ibuprofen every 6 to 8 hours on a schedule for the first 24 hours. Trust us, this will be helpful with the pain. I don't know about you, but ibuprofen never helps me with pain. So try to stay on top of the dosing schedule. Write down the first dose, then set an alarm or reminder on your phone for each dose 6 to 8 hours later. Ondansetron does not have to be taken at any point, but you may take it as needed every 6 to 8 hours for 24 hours. If you are breastfeeding a child, you may want to continue to do so during the medication abortion process. These medications pose no risk to your baby. How interesting. It is acceptable to take these medications any time of day, however. There are some important things to keep in mind. Taking them in the evening might mean you wake up throughout the course of the night to change your pad or take pain medication. If you sleep through the night, it may be alarming to wake up with blood having leaked through your pad or clothing for this reason. And see, I would think that I would take it at night just so that I could sleep through the side effects, but I guess that makes sense if it's going to cause you to wake up because of the side effects. I mean, that makes sense. So, interesting. I guess I'm kind of shocked that you can keep taking this medicine through while you're breastfeeding. So, very interesting. It's all you've ever used for cramps and all that ever worked. Ibuprofen is great for inflammation, so if your pain is caused by that, it works really well. I never get headaches or have chronic pain. I wish it worked for me. I might as well just be eating M&Ms because it does nothing for me. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. I just so many medicines that you're not supposed to take while you're breastfeeding. That one just seems like one of those that would be like, no, don't do that.
All right.
Interesting.
They are still outside, though. I'm sure they are. It's very nice today. All right.
That's very interesting. So basically, just take ibuprofen, and you can take it while breastfeeding, which is weird to me. And maybe don't take it at night if you don't want to have to wake up to change your pads and stuff. Which I was like I was saying to them, like I would think take it at night so you sleep through the side effects. But I guess some people don't want to wake up.
I'm pretty sure you would wake up. So.
Well, I mean, the pain, yes, but like, I would just be like, can I have something to put me out too?
Yeah.
Can I have a soma, please?
All right. So you sleep through the night for this reason, take it during the day. Well, also, if you do happen to sleep through it for any reason, and perhaps it's even more bleeding than is expected, probably, just to keep an eye on yourself as well, I would think. But anyway. All right. So did you read that whole part? I'm sorry. I might have said that.
Yeah, all the way to, let's see, it is acceptable to take these medications any time of day. Yeah. I was trying to see where I was.
All right. So follow-up appointments with choice. Okay. Because remember, you're supposed to be talking to somebody. Somebody's literally there for you to talk to the entire time to make sure that you're safe and everything is going according to plan. That's you got to tell them what you're doing, So 72 hours after the misoprostol, okay, a provider from choice will reach out via text messages approximately 72 hours, 3 days after, the misoprostol. This will be determined by the time of day you plan to take the misoprostol. They will ask you a series of questions to help determine if you need to seek in-person medical care. We expect you to respond within 1 business day to our message.
But what happens if you don't?
Well,
I mean, do they send someone to your house?
I don't think so. I don't know, but if you selected a birth control method from us, you may start that method the day you communicate with us about the abortion process. And then 4 weeks later, a provider from choice will reach out via text message to remind you to take a pregnancy test. You will report the pregnancy test result in the text message. We expect you to take the pregnancy test and respond within 1 business day to our message. Please note, this is the final step to confirm your abortion is complete, and we do not recommend taking the pregnancy test sooner than 4 weeks after you have your abortion.
They spelled abortion wrong.
Abortoin.
Abortoin.
As it takes a few weeks for pregnancy hormones to fully leave your body, which is exactly what happens with a miscarriage as well. You go back in a month later, they do the ultrasound to make sure everything is not showing up anymore and that you don't have the pregnancy hormone. So if your pregnancy test is positive, it may mean a few things. It might mean you still have a continuing pregnancy, or that the abortion is incomplete, or that your body is just taking a little while to clear the hormones. We will refer you to be evaluated by a healthcare provider in person if we think it's necessary, or you may go at any point if you are concerned. All right. If you have questions, you can call that number. Okay, this is all. I don't think this is really important. What are the risks of the telehealth medication abortion? The risk includes the pills don't work at all, or they only partially work, which is interesting. Excessive bleeding too much or too long, infection, allergic reaction, or death. Probably from bleeding too much.
I feel like that's like the caveat in everything.
Look at this. If the pills don't work, you may need to have a surgical abortion procedure. That's right. Misoprostol can cause serious birth defects, obviously, but the choice to continue pregnancy after the abortion is yours. And then let's see, in the case, if and when we do not use an ultrasound to evaluate the location and gestational age, we instead use evidence-based methods to evaluate the gestational age. There's always a risk we are wrong and that the pregnancy might be further along, or the pregnancy might be ectopic, which is very dangerous. So they don't really do as much of a thorough check about things. So, blah, 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 blah. All right, what can I expect?
In order to get this medicine from that website, it has to be prescribed from an actual doctor. So I think the assumption is you're already being seen by a physician.
Right. Because she did go and have the P test. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at the website and it says you have to get this. It's a mail order pharmacy, but they don't just give you the prescription, right? So like you had to get it from somewhere, unless they have online doctors that give you the prescription, but feel like there should be, I don't know,
a bit more to
and
it,
maybe this is look, not to get political, but maybe this is the repercussions of the you just can't walk in and get abortion meds anymore, that this is how the loop goes.
Oh, you can do a video visit with this place? Interesting.
But that's what I'm saying, is maybe that's a side effect of the laws in place that make it to where you can't just walk in and go to a doctor.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're not actually being seen.
Okay. So the main side effects from the medication occur after taking the misoprostol. You should expect cramping, moderate to heavy cramps that may feel like period cramps or a little bit stronger. If it's exactly like a miscarriage, it is not like period cramps, at least none that I have ever experienced. I'll tell you that. Bleeding, menstrual-like, possibly lighter or heavier. I would think it would be heavier, with or without some blood clots, which I would think you would have as well. Other symptoms, low-grade fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, headache, back pain, all can occur from taking misoprostol. That all makes sense. The symptoms people experience range from mild to severe, but for most women, the experience might feel like a heavy, painful period with flu-like symptoms. For this reason, we recommend staying at home or somewhere calm and relaxing for 24 hours. So that's about all for that. Blah, 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 blah. Here she signs saying she's read all this. unless it's Greg hacking her and, you know, signing her her stuff or something. Are the side effects from that? See, because I don't think anything happens. It doesn't make any sense that anything would happen to you if you weren't pregnant, because there's nothing to trigger at that point, you know.
Right.
It's neglect if you don't go to the doctors while pregnant. That can be argued. Yes, absolutely, it can be. But then it gets into a very gray area of that, right? Because
Yeah,
you know,
I would think it would.
there's religious things that can play into it.
Can you force someone to go to a doctor?
Can you? Correct. Yeah, it's complicated is all I'm saying. So anyway, so okay, here's the conversations. All right, so let me do this better here. All right, so she starts receiving messages here July 23rd. Okay. Hi, Laura. This is Maria with Choice. I'm following up to confirm you received your medications. Please read through all patient education materials in your Choice patient portal. After reading, please go to the following link and log in to your patient portal to document your medication information. Please complete this link within 24 hours of receiving it. If you have not yet received your medication or read through your instructions, please complete this link when you have. Message us with any concerns. All right. So that's the initial one. And then what is that? 6 days later, they send her another message. Hello, Laura. This is Lauren, nurse practitioner with Choice. I just want to let you know this is our final text regarding your medication. As you know, we would like you to fill out the following link to let us know the time and date of when you plan to take your medications so that we continue with your required follow-ups and care. Please know that can no longer be held responsible for your care if you are not checking in for required follow-ups. If you have decided to continue the pregnancy, we recommend good prenatal care and prenatal vitamins if you have not already done so. We also recommend disposing of the medications at a local pharmacy. You can put them in an unmarked container if desired to ensure that you're not ingested incorrectly or on accident. Take care. And Zoe is scratching at my door. Hold on, let me make this bigger so the whole thing, there we go. Can you do the starting Laura's comment there? And I'll be right back.
Well, yes.
The top green one.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking up what choice was because I can't find any place called Choice on the internet. Okay. So I'm having a hard time logging in, but took the first one yesterday. Thank you for contacting Choice Inc. Our office is currently closed. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is an emergency, please dial 911. If you're a current patient, okay, I'm not going to go through all that. It's a canned response. So it says, can you tell me what issues you're having, Laura, so we can assist you in fixing them? It is important you are able to access that information and also document your information through links we send you. I can't remember my login. Hey, figured out my login late last night, then was reading through the portal. I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to swallow the 4 misoprostol pills. So I did. Wait. I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to swallow the 4 misoprostol pills. So I did.
She didn't know.
Will that abort the fetus, or do I need to do more? I still have 4 pills left.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I could not find it. I was looking for the website because I wanted to see what that place was.
Yeah, so she swallowed them instead of letting them dissolve, even though they even had pictures. But apparently it was very hard. She did not understand. I also love how she couldn't figure out her login. Like, how hard is it? If you don't remember your password, you just change it. excuses.
Well, okay. She takes a long time to obviously respond to these people. Clearly, she's not that worried about it because she responds. Well, she asked the questions the first time. They're no longer open, or they're not open. She finally responds back, and then they're closed. Okay.
She can't read. Well, yeah, we'll just start that rumor that
she obviously can't do pictures either. I mean, like they all but came in and put them in her mouth or
her vagina.
Did whatever. Yeah, I was saying, but I thought there was a choice. You could put it in both places, or is that just the first one that you could do both?
The first one is swallow. That one's not the myth.
The second one.
The second one is vag or cheek to dissolve. So it was one or the other. Okay. So did you read this part here about them being closed, or you don't need to?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. So
she said
it's closed.
Not yet. Hi, Laura. This is Laura, the NP. This is Lauren talking to Laura. Okay. Have you started bleeding at all? No, not yet. What time did you take the mifepristone? And what time did you take the misoprostol? 10 p.m. each day. But I did swallow those pills. So you took mifepristone 7:28 and then misoprostol on 7:29, both at 10 p.m. Why is that white out?
Who knows?
Yep. She seems very put out by this whole conversation. One word answers. Then
that's what happens when you're lying. That's why.
I mean, mine would be like, "Oh my God, am I dying?" No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Like, yes, then I would take the additional 4 misoprostol via one of the advised routes and let me know which. You do need to start before 10 p.m. this evening. What time? Anytime before 10 p.m. based on your schedule. And let me know when that is so I can update your chart accordingly. 9.
I don't think she can read.
Since I haven't bled, does that mean it didn't work yet? It isn't absorbed through the stomach like the other medications are for this purpose of an abortion. It is best absorbed through the mucosa like the cheeks or the vagina. Okay, I feel like such an idiot for not seeing that. No. You should. Glad you guys included extras. Okay, so that's where she got the extra pills?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be for later, later weeks. But okay.
So bleeding is not expected after that first medication, but if it happens, it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's what she said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Will you be doing your misoprostol in the cheeks or vagina at 9 p.m.? Which is better? Both are equally effective. It is just that the packet with the instructions.
Laura can't read. Start a rumor. Rumors and nastiness. Laura can't read. Okay. Where were you? I got distracted.
Okay. Well, as nausea you may be experiencing, the buccal cheek route can cause more nausea, and thus you will want to use the ondansetron we gave you in your medication packet. Thank you. Does it matter if I wait until tomorrow? I wanted to do it with my boyfriend, and he is sick. Ma'am. Oh, my God. Hi, Laura.
Well, no, look, they don't get a hold of her until like 3 days later.
Okay.
Because they check back in 3 days. Remember, it's
at 9:06 p.m. They're closed.
Yeah.
Because she waits. Because, like, do you see? I don't know what time she responded. She responded at 9:06. When was that last message sent? She waits too long to respond. Anyway, so hi Laura, Lauren the MP here. I hope you did take that medication and or had bleeding when you took the medication. Please let us know. As stated in all your instructions, you needed to do the second medication 48 hours after the first. Hi, I did not have bleeding. I took it Saturday. Did you have bleeding after your medication on Saturday? No. I'm also on lamotrigine for seizures. Would that interact? No, it does not. However, since you have not had any bleeding, I do recommend you follow up with an in-person abortion provider. Since your medications were taken very far apart, this may contribute to the failed or incomplete abortion.
Which is very serious. Very serious. Like,
what the heck?
You could die. You probably will.
Well, she literally told her she needed to do them, and she did not. So, ma'am. Oh my God. It is a failed or incomplete abortion. Is the fetus still viable? She did not read any of the paperwork.
No, she did not.
I've had serious second thoughts. That will only be determined on an ultrasound. Please note that misoprostol can be teratogenic, toxic to a developing fetus. So if you have an ongoing pregnancy, you will want to discuss this with your prenatal provider.
Yeah.
Hi, Laura. Laura the NP here. I hope that was back same thing. It's doubles.
Oh, this is doubles. You're right. Because of course it is. Okay. So that was that. This is her urine test that was positive. I mean, she's dumb. It's not that complicated.
We went through the entire procedure up there. Also, don't you, I'll read it 6 times before I take it, but maybe that's just the nursing school part of me of I do that with my kids' medication. I'll read it, re-verify, read it, re-verify. It's freaking Motrin. Seriously, it's not that serious, but it is that serious.
And I thought this was important too, of the nurse practitioner saying, you need to go to an in-person place. If this is anything, it's serious. You need to go get an ultrasound basically immediately because you do. Because you do.
But Boot Scoots is correct. This is fake abortion. So, and sometimes I try to put my mind into if this was I just look at it like it was real and doesn't make sense. I keep putting myself in that mindset while I'm reading it, but none of this is real. And that kind of makes sense as to why this is not what a reasonable person would do.
No. Or Laura.
Was a real situation.
Everything was 5 words. And we all know Laura can't say things in just 5 words. I mean, she's not capable of doing that. So, well, that explains a lot. I mean, she's like, I swallowed them. I didn't even know. Okay. Anyway, that conversation is very much somebody who's lying or doesn't even take what they're doing seriously, to be quite honest. So,
yeah, it's not what a reasonable person would do in that situation, I don't believe.
And then she never goes to a doctor. Right. She never provides proof. She never even says she does when it's crazy. So,
yeah.
And we've seen these. These were these were pre this, just confirming her positive. Instead of
going to an actual doctor, she decides to. This was before the abortion, correct?
Yes. These were her P tests coming back positive, which again, it means nothing because it's not abortion? Even. Yes. July 16th. Before. Okay. That was just confirming her pregnancy to begin with. But
got it.
They only test, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't really do anything besides that. And that doesn't really mean anything. So, okay. So we are going to reread some of these texts between Greg and Laura. One, because they're easier to read, finally.
Someone's trying to get your attention in the chat. Oh. All caps.
Wait, Llama. Note the names on those papers. Okay, hold on. Which papers? These? John Jones, Dr. John Jones, and who else? I'm confused. Oh, somebody said something earlier, by the way. Hold on. I brought it up because I was putting together the shows for the rest of this month. And who was it that was talking about chase somebody? Dan Montana. It's interesting you brought this up because I saw that there's like a legal document for this Chase J. Jones. And I'm like, who the fuck is Chase J. Jones? I have no idea. It's even in my notes to like look up who the fuck is this person? I've never heard of them. Are you saying that Chase J. Jones is Laura? Is that what you're saying? Interesting. She did not. Don't tell me she filed a fake thing. Is not a real person. I love this so much. Wow. Okay. Shut up. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I told you all I can't wait until we get past this. But that is interesting. Wow, I love this so much for us. All right, so we'll go to these Greg texts. All right, so who do you want? You want to be Greg or you want to be Laura?
That doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll be Greg. How about that?
Okay.
And
which one is
Laura?
Greg?
Laura's blue. Greg is gray. All right, so he says, can you send me the portal access just to see? Sorry, I couldn't make it there. Work is nuts today, putting out fires.
Portal access? I could just call them and give them permission to talk to you if you want. Not sure what you mean.
I see what you're saying, text packet. That's interesting. Okay. Ooh, so much good stuff. Okay, so here's from, we've read this. This is where they have with Julie Ulrich, who's on the witness list for her felonies, where she has, the video conference and she asks, Laura if she feels safe or whatever, because apparently, Laura says that Greg was, being a dick about things or whatever, something like that, which, whatever. I'd be addicted to Laura too, to be quite honest. But anyway, this is her insurance information of her not needing to pay for
her whole $10
office visit. So, right, with her amazing insurance, apparently. This is her order of protection. Look how clean and clear these documents are. Like, where do you get these? Which we already know. No contact between her and Greg. We know that. Same thing. We already know that stuff. Wait, hold on a second. Do we know this one? Yes, we do. Hold on. Where is my cheat sheet list here? Because I made a note of what we are reading and not reading. Oh, this one's all of them. Okay.
Train time.
No, wait. I don't think we... Ex-girlfriend. Oh, no. We have not read this. So she files this. When is this? Oh, 11/12/2021. No, then we had to have read this. You know what? Whatever. Fuck it. We'll just go over it anyway. Why not? All right. So she says her and Greg were involved in a relationship that lasted about 5 dates, even though they go and say 2. From the relationship, I became pregnant. Greg, the login information for my computer, email, and everything else. I had passwords to online when he demanded my login information to my one medical patient portal to confirm my pregnancy. He has used that information to stalk and harass me. You're so jealous of the train. I don't know about that. I don't even realize it anymore. Was one of the fictitious people she made up. A Black Howard College journalism student. He wrote an article trying to cancel Clayton for dancing to a song with it. Oh my God, all the tea, you guys. Oh, Oh, I love this. I love this for us so much.
I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, I lost audio for a second, so I had to fix it.
Oh, well, no, here you know. Beautiful as always. Now, on August 8th, August 8th, 11/21, she filed a lawsuit against Greg in which she was pro se, sued him for DV, intentional infliction, emotional distress, and abortion coercion. This request for a PO has nothing to do with the current litigation whatsoever, and is a last resort since he will not listen to law enforcement's calls to ask him to stop contacting me despite me making 3 police reports against him. It has nothing to do with this, even though she literally does the same thing for everyone, always, but okay. By the way, later we'll listen to her calls to the police. It's so funny because she'll be like, I have 3 restraining orders on 3 different guys. And it's like, ooh, girl, what is your problem? Like, what? Let's see. In a text messages between the two, Greg told me that he would make my fucking life a living hell if I did not take abortion pills. Take the fucking pills, Laura. And that he would call the police if I showed a moment's hesitation in taking them to force me to do it. I mean, did he say some of those things? Yes. But it's not what she makes it out to be, in my opinion. On October 26th, I received an anonymous message from someone saying they were hired to hack my podcast website and my personal number, asking me, what did you do to him? And what did you do to offend him? I'm sure that's true. Okay, who's going to hack a website? Figured I was her by doing an account password recovery. Oh, this is interesting. That was not who I thought Chase J. Jones was going to be. Also, who the hell takes notes like this? Agreed. Well, on October 29th, I was unable to log into my computer. After a 3-hour support call and an in-person visit on that day, Apple determined that the computer was going to need to be cleared. You know, the devices that are very hard to hack, but sure. The computer stored extremely important information for the civil case that I'm involved in against Mr. Gillespie that has not been presented at trial, which he, of course, knew. And that's why I don't have evidence for anything, obviously. Which would it all back up in the cloud? I don't know. When Apple was unable to fix my issue, I hired a data recovery specialist to save the information Gillespie tried to corrupt and was successful in my efforts, even though I will never give any more documentation about anything ever. It was also determined that my iPhone had an app called Team Viewer installed, a remote access and remote control software that allows a remote user to control iPhones and computers. Given that I am self-employed, noted for the feds, I have never needed a software like this. I called the police to inform them of this incident on November 1st, 2021. Now, it's just interesting to me that this woman is like, oh, I don't know how any of this works, even though she has an email reader tracker on like all of her emails, because normal people do that. What? Yeah, no, it's not 5 gates. It's only 2. It's kind of like when she schedules doctor's appointments. She was like, well, I saw him on Instagram, and that's basically his date.
It was 2 he consented to. The other 3 she showed up for, I'm sure.
Right? Crazy. Now, between October 29th and November 8th, there were several instances of bizarre text messages on my devices designed to engage me, which I chose not to do, which goes against everything we know about Laura. I was also logged out of my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts due to suspicious activity. Now, on November 6, 2021 at 3:37 p.m., I received a text from a number I did not recognize with a photo of a man who looked to be in his 20s alongside his mother, who was holding a Happy Mother's Day sign. I asked who it was and was told, "Must be a wrong number. Sorry, dude." After research online, I confirmed that the man in the photo is Mr. Gillespie's family friend through his cousin. This incident can be traced back to Greg and combined with all of the other acts of stalking and harassment, and it has frightened me to no end.
I mean, can that be verified that that's who that is? Or is that just her suspicion? Because I get reminders about our golf dates, about meeting to pick somebody up at an airport, like on the regular from random numbers. And I really hope somebody actually, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I play along with it, though. It's super fun.
Interesting. Let's see here. Okay. Where are we here? I spoke with the Scottsdale Police Department, who I have on speed dial. She didn't write that, but she does. On 11/7/21, and was told that another woman has an active order against Greg that she filed for in September. I know this woman to be his ex-girlfriend, who he told me he had tracked on her Apple Watch in December 2020 in order to prove that she was cheating on him. When he discovered that she was, he admitted to grabbing her arm and snatching the watch off. I do not know what has happened between them since then, but there has clearly been an additional issue. Greg also told me about how he had been accused of harassment by a coworker who I met while we were out to dinner. Is that the dinner that she wasn't invited to? Right? Would the suspicious activity be you being a liar? Maybe. Hello, Colorado Canadian. I love that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. All right. So despite knowing that I am a DV survivor and a public speaker on the topic, because I did it one time and it's very popular. It's the most popular TEDx talk you can ever see ever. It's not. Greg previously put his hands on my throat, and this would have undoubtedly led to something more had I not stopped him. He is 6'4", while I am 5'5", and weighs more than double what I do. I do not stand a chance against him, but you just said you stopped him. So, okay. Sure. I'm asking the court for this injunction because I fear for my life. Mr. Gillespie is a manipulative and dangerous person and has been incessantly harassing me. Is she holding up a mirror? I believe that he is retaliating against me for my pregnancy with his child and will not stop until he has ruined my life, my podcast, and causes some serious mental and or physical harm to me. He has shown me that he is an aggressive person in my brief history with him, a whole 2 dates, and I am fearful to be outside of my home alone. I pray that this will make him understand the consequences of him tracking me via cyber stalking or otherwise, knowing how much I did not want to have an abortion. He forced me to take abortion pills so that his own child would not be born. And in doing that, has shown a complete lack of care for human life or empathy for me. He's supposed to go on a date with me. I am unsure if even a protective order will stop him, given that he has chosen to ignore law enforcement's warnings to stop cyber stalking and harassing me. However, I am desperate to get him to stop and understand the consequences of his actions will have if he continues. Your Honor, Mr. Gillespie is an extremely dangerous man, and I have no other remedy than to ask this court to enter an order of protection and other relief as it deems necessary to ensure my safety. Oh
Based
my
on what,
goodness.
though? Where do they get
Exactly.
dangerous from?
Right? Just because she
I mean,
says
I don't think
so.
she put forth any evidence to show how
No.
dangerous he is. I mean, I realize you don't always have evidence to prove how dangerous someone is.
Right.
But, like, she hasn't offered any, even, like, anecdotal evidence to say.
Right? I mean, this is just like, girl. Girl. This sounds a lot like you. Actually, sounds exactly like you. But okay, sure, boom. So anyway, they had that in there, and then this is for his job, I think. Yes, this is for the Circa lighting place. All right, so there's a chat. Laura is visitor 46115545. She enters this chat and says hello, and then this person joined the chat and says, "Good afternoon. How can I help you today?" Visitor, "Hi, I'm in Scottsdale. I see that Greg Gillespie is listed as working in the Scottsdale store, but he is not listed as someone who the public can make an appointment with. Does he still work there?" Shady shit, Laura.
It's so creepy.
She is creepy. She's creepy as fuck, man. JP says, "Hi, he does work for Circa, but does not work directly in the showroom." Visitor, "Okay, that makes sense then. Thank you." And JP says, "My pleasure. Please reach back out if we can answer any other questions." And she leaves the chats because she's fucking weird like that. So that was some interesting new stuff that we haven't previously seen in her case so far. Particularly, I thought the abortion stuff was fairly important to cover now that we kind of see it was very obvious what you were supposed to do. They told you. She had conversations about it, and she was even being dodgy with the healthcare people. And she wants to be like, "No, it's because he kept changing my mind and going back and forth." And it's like, no, you actually were just ghosting them most of the time, but okay.
So weird.
I know, right? Okay, so we started this off with the defense, saying their motion for summary judgment that she hasn't given any manifestation of physical symptoms of what's been going on with her and why she deserves $40,000 apparently. And guess what? This is a response to that. So let's see what, if anything, we learned from this. Okay. Yeah, no, the shit with the employers, because she doesn't do this just to Greg. She does it with Clayton. I know that. And I personally think we don't have proof of this yet. But when I was, looking over the Michael Maricini stuff, remember there's a period of time where he lost his job.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any proof yet that I've done in reading this case. It might come out later in his 550-page evidence dump later on, but I wouldn't put it past her being the reason why he lost his job. But I don't know that to be true.
Well, I think it was because of the PPOs, right?
No, it was before. It was during the relationship, remember? Because she's like, "I paid for everything because he lost his job, and I paid for all the trips and all the things and blah, 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 blah." But I feel like she's probably the reason he lost his job. So, yeah, no, people's jobs, like, that's just not okay, like, at all. She is a creep, fucking weirdo.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very creepy.
And yet she doesn't understand why men want nothing to do with her. Because she crosses lines I can't even imagine doing. All right. So Laura, through her lawyer, files this, responded, blah, blah, blah. Because Laura's disclosures provided that she suffered $40,000 in damages due to the trauma suffered, and because her supplemental testimony for trial, included in the affidavit attached here too, showed that she suffered severe emotional distress, you guys. There are genuine issues of material fact, and the court should allow Laura's claims to move forward to the arbitration hearing. I mean, let's just hear her out. Now, this motion is based on the arguments herein, the attached affidavit of Laura Owens, and the court file on the whole. Facts. Ms. Owens is a popular self-help podcaster and victims advocate who speaks regularly on the topic of coerced abortions. I have not seen or heard anything about her being a public speaker for coerced abortions. Does that exist? She only did a TED Talks on her made-up plain story. Did she ever actually go and do this? Right. Ugh. She probably has all sorts of fake people. I'd be curious if anybody knows about her giving anyone that speaks out about abortion.
That would be interesting.
It would be.
If it's true, because it's kind of what is it, coincidental? It's kind of like,
right. She's saying, by the way, she's an expert because one, this happened to her, and now she talks to people about it. So you have to believe her, obviously, because why would people hire her as a speaker?
Or did she become one because she claims it happened to her and she's going through this? Because, every time, she's a domestic violence advocate. I gave one TED Talk.
Yeah.
Like.
And I do want to listen to the podcast between her and her mom, but I can't do it. I can't. To say you're self-help, girl.
I might. I'll take one for the team.
You might have
Send
to
them
take
to me.
How is that not stalking? Yes, Bill. How is that not stalking when you're tracking him at work? Honestly, his job shouldn't have said anything about him still working there. I don't know if there's rules against that in Arizona.
I don't know.
But
that's interesting.
You're not supposed to.
I mean, I guess it depends. Do employees not call people? Do customers not call and ask specifically for employees?
I don't know. I mean, one of the jobs I had, if anybody called in to see if somebody worked there or was working that day, I wasn't allowed to tell them either way, because you never know who the person is that's asking. So that was just what I don't know if that's even a thing. You can find it on any podcast app.
Oh, goody. Thought I was going to be bored this weekend.
No, impossible. So anyway, she's super popular, you guys. Okay. And an advocate. So we got to take her super seriously. And Laura's statement of additional facts. Oh, I already read that part. Laura was ready to have a child when she got pregnant with Mr. Gillespie's child. Okay. However,
so, sounds entrapment.
Yeah. However, she felt a connection with Greg. And because he promised to follow through with the relationship with her if she had an abortion, she went through the process because that's what somebody does. Okay. Laura knew that it was possible that her credibility as a victim's right advocate could be tarnished, but believed she could have a successful long-term relationship with Greg. That's right. Throw out everything. It's fine. Everything I stand for and want as a person. Because my 2 dates with Greg was just amazing. No offense, Greg. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to feel that way about you.
It shouldn't be like that early in the relationship. He should be able to walk away and be like, nah, you know what? Like that's crazy making.
Yeah. That's not normal, Laura.
After 2 days.
Crazy talk. Now, Laura followed through with the abortion based on the false promises by Greg that they would have a relationship. However, after Laura went through with the abortion, Greg blocked her on all forms of social media and the phone. Rude. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. I would have done the same thing, Greg. I probably would just fucking moved. Now, Greg never intended to follow through with the promise of a relationship with Laura. Boy. I can't believe her lawyer wrote this with a straight fucking face. Sir, Kyle, what are you thinking? before my
Kyle,
computer.
you are a civil attorney. You have the option to refuse this case.
Right?
Like, it's not like you're court appointed, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Gillespie then threatened to withhold child support for Laura if she went through with the pregnancy.
Yeah,
okay, and
prove it's mine.
What's your point?
Has to be
Demanded she take the fucking pills and threatened to call the police on her, which is so funny because Laura fucking calls the police on a leaf blowing through her yard and being like, somebody from the internet put that leaf in my yard. I'm so scared. I don't even have that tree. Somebody planted it. Wait till if you guys are new to this case, wait till you hear some of these calls to the police.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're even talking about. That's
They're
why
so
I'm
funny.
Like,
they're so
okay.
ridiculous. The audacity of this woman, even calling them, is hilarious because of the internet. Let's see, where was I? Greg also claimed that Laura was holding him hostage for a bastard. That part wasn't great, but that's okay. We're not perfect. Laura suffered severe anxiety from the emotional distress intentionally caused by Greg. Laura had physical symptoms of, did anybody guess these? I don't think so. I didn't see them. Of skin rashes and heartburn due to the trauma she suffered.
Ma'am.
You want $40,000 for some fucking skin rashes and heartburn? What? Are you serious?
Wow.
There you go, guys. There you go. There is not a day. Skin rashes and heartburn. I can't.
Skin rashes and heartburn. Okay.
Right. Never mind. She had mentioned earlier, remember, it increased her depression and anxiety. Now, anxiety can cause, hives and stuff like that. But let's be real here. What? But okay. All right. Let's see what else she has to say. There is not a day that goes by that Laura does not regret the decision that was coerced by Greg. Laura has trouble focusing at work. Circle that. Send to the feds, please. Thank you.
I don't really think her attorney is doing better than her.
No, I don't think so either. She has trouble focusing at work due to Greg's actions. Laura has cried due to guilt and embarrassment, lost sleep, and suffers from significant mood swings. I mean, I'll give you that, but I don't think Greg causes that happen, girl. Also, the law says crying doesn't count and losing some sleep doesn't count. So Laura is in fear for her safety and has obtained multiple orders of protection against Greg. And Laura now splits time in Arizona and California for some reason. I don't know why, but she does. And it's Greg's fault for some reason. I think it's because she's doing her stupid horse shit.
Stupid horse shit. The whole thing is
stupid horse shit. It works for so many parts of this story.
Right.
Excuse me. Right? Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. Laura served 2 documents entitled Initial Disclosure Statements. One on November 23rd, 2022, and another, that's when she filed herself, and another on April 17th, 2023, which I believe is when, is that Carrie Llama, the lady lawyer Carrie she hired? Ramos. Yeah, Carrie, and then Casey was with Woodnick. Very confusing.
Carrie, Casey, and Kyle.
Yeah.
We're very waspy.
Yes. Now, Laura's disclosure statements included exhibits attached to them and included by reference documents disclosed by other parties and documents filed in and with pleadings. Greg never disclosed the defense that Laura had to prove physical symptoms of severe emotional distress. But I feel like that's kind of the law. Like, why did he have to say you have to prove it, though?
That's why I'm not really sure this lawyer is doing a better job, because well, that's the whole point of a lawsuit, right? It's you don't just get, but clearly she thinks that she just gets to say whatever and gets her way.
I mean, Kyle did look young, not like super duper young, but he could have just been fresh out of law school and was like, all right, I guess I'll give it a go, get some experience under my belt or something.
Kyle is regretting his life choices.
Right. Now, on a motion for summary judgment, the moving party bears the burden of proving that there are no genuine issues of material fact. In determining whether there are genuine issues of material fact, the court must view the facts and reasonable inferences from them in the light most favorable to the non-moving party. Summary judgment is only appropriate if the facts produced in support of the non-moving party's claim or defense have so little probative value that reasonable people could not agree with the conclusion advanced by the proponent, meaning they don't have anything. So, now, defendant is not entitled to judgment as a matter of law because Laura has disclosed sufficient damages. Think of her skin rashes and the heartburn and the broken prom. I can't believe this has been in court for this long. Like, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Greg claims that Laura's disclosure statements only provided a calculation of damages based on attorney fees and cost, and therefore Greg is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. The purpose of disclosure statements is to give notice of claims and damages as issues so both sides can meaningfully prepare for trial, which, makes sense. The damages explanation may have been unartfully phrased, but given sufficient notice to Greg, that Laura would seek damages for the cost of defense and $40,000 for emotional distress damages due to the trauma from which she suffered. Emotional distress damages are difficult to accurately calculate and may be based exclusively on the testimony of Laura. They need not be supplemented by expert testimony. So basically, Laura's going to get on the stand and she's going to give us what you're asking for, okay? Now, the court should keep in mind that this is a case in Zoe, you need to chill, girl. You are fine. Keep in mind that this is a case in the mandatory arbitration system. It does not involve claims of hundreds of thousands of dollars, but a claim for $40,000. Well, that's about the same to me. All right. If you're a broke bitch, 40,000, 100,000, it's all the same. It's money I don't have. And Laura is seeking redress for the severe emotional distress that she endured due to the flagrant misrepresentations and actions taken by Mr. Gillespie in order to cause her severe emotional distress. Thanks for being back. I'll be right back in just a second. I'm getting the dog text. I'm getting the dog.
You have dogs and I have children at home for spring break.
She could just stay outside.
Let's see where we're at. Plaintiff has suffered from severe emotional distress. Defendant claims that there are no genuine issues of material fact as to whether defendant suffered from severe emotional distress.
I would love it if my dogs would stay outside when it's a beautiful day, but not Zoe. She's like, I want to go outside for 5 minutes, come inside for 5 minutes, go back outside. It's very annoying.
I just had to be. It was very quiet in the living room, and I just needed to make sure that my kids were still alive.
That's fair.
Because once it gets too quiet, it gets a little disturbing.
Yes. Yes. It's always everyone else's fault. Always. All right. So they're saying Laura has suffered from severe emotional distress with her skin rashes and heartburn.
It can be difficult to discern where the line is on emotional distress cases as to what constitutes severe emotional distress and what does not. He's going to tell you. No. Obviously, as indicated above, all reasonable inferences in this motion must be resolved in favor of the plaintiff. As the Midas court held, crying and difficulty sleeping is not enough.
No.
Midas Muffler Shop versus Ellison. Okay. See, if ever I wanted to go down a rabbit hole of case law, that one is interesting. Midas Muffler Shop versus Ellison. What does that have to do with? Okay, I won't go there. However,
is this real, Amos? Because it's not April Fool's Day anymore. Letitia Stout wins her appeal and gets a new trial? Shut up. Sorry, that's a whole different topic. If you don't know who that person is. Ooh. Wow, she was something.
Oh, I don't know if I can go through that again.
I'm not. I can't. That trial broke me as a person. It was awful. What Laura makes up and what is reality is the line. Yes. All right, sorry. Okay, back to this. Sorry, side note.
Okay. So, however, in Vincente versus Barnett, like I said, case law, I need to go read what it says. Arizona courts have since made clear that bodily injury is not required because sometimes these attorneys cite case law and it's not exactly what it actually says.
That is very true. Like a lot.
So, defendant cites to an unpublished case for the claim that intentional infliction of emotional distress cases must be predicated on emotional distress that resulted in physical symptoms. That unpublished decision is an opposite to the published decision in Packratz, wherein the court stated that a showing of depression was sufficient. In her disclosure statements, plaintiff alleged that she suffered from severe anxiety, depression, shock, and utter guilt due to defendant's false promises made.
Bastard. Just kidding.
Swear.
Oh, sorry. I got to scroll down.
It's up to you.
There we go.
Specifically to cause Miss Owens to get an abortion. As indicated in her affidavit attached to the additional statement of facts, the anxiety resulted in Miss Owens having skin rashes and heartburn.
Right. Right.
I'm going to get paid $45,000 for my skin rashes and heartburn.
Okay, well, I'll keep the spoiler to myself. Go ahead. Sorry.
Apart from the fact that plaintiffs suffered from sufficiently severe emotional distress, the court should also consider that because defendant failed to sufficiently disclose this defense, he is precluded from taking the position, and therefore summary judgment should be denied on this basis. Party is required to timely disclose its legal defenses and the factual basis for them. If a party fails to do so, it is not permitted to use that information at trial. Okay. In this case, defendant never indicated its factual or legal defenses to any of plaintiff's claims, other than to refer to certain pleadings in their disclosure statements. However, upon scouring the filings referenced, none of the defenses include the defenses indicated in his motion. Wow, the run-on sentence. That plaintiff has suffered no damages and that plaintiff's emotional stress was not severe. The closest you could come by legal gymnastics to do so is the denial in his answer.
Right.
Wow.
Talk about some legal gymnastics.
Let's talk about gymnastics, shall we?
Wow. Okay. Sure. Okay.
The acrobatics in this one. Okay. So, however, the purpose of disclosure statements is to give each party adequate notice of what arguments will be made and what evidence will be presented at trial so that there is no trial by ambush. Here, for the first time, go ahead.
Oh, I was just seeing text packets. Her husband was one of Letitia Stout's jailers. You got story, girl. I love stories. You let me know all these stories.
That does not surprise me. She's a
wow, right? Wowzers. Okay, you continue on.
Here, for the first time in this case, defendant is asserting that the failure to disclose physical symptoms resolves the claim. Were this to have been made clear by defendant, as plaintiff made clear in her disclosure statements, the information provided by plaintiff in response would have been provided earlier. However, the court should not preclude plaintiff from presenting this information now in response to the motion. Either the contention that failure to meet this additional defense must be precluded, or my client must be able to provide evidence in response to it now. For the foregoing reasons, the court, okay, so this is the conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the court should deny the motion for summary.
Oh, yeah, don't say things online about that. Text back.
Oh.
Yeah, that case is awful. I fucking hate that woman.
Plaintiff sufficiently disclosed the damages she was seeking when she specifically stated that she was seeking $40,000 for the trauma she suffered, and the allegations, when taken in conjunction with those in her affidavit, are sufficient to create genuine issues of material fact. Okay, Kyle.
I mean, all she has to do is take some Benadryl and some Zyrtec. But sure.
Prilosec.
Prilosec, okay.
Oh, yeah. Prilosec for the heartburn. Maybe Zyrtec.
I mean, that's
for the allergies, and some take Benadryl at the same time.
Some what is it I take? Hydroxyzine, right? That'll help, bring your anxiety down and probably help with those rashes. So,
well, it is, yeah. You can take both.
$40,000. I don't know.
I would be a zombie for 2 days if I took a hydroxyzine, but it doesn't really react well for me. I live like it puts me in a fog. I can't do it.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, it depends on my anxiety level. So, okay. So let's see. We're going to skip the exhibit 1 because this is them doing the whole case. So we're not going to go over that case that they quoted. So now we're going to page 17. We've read this. That's not important there. Oh, there we go. We're going to plaintiff's statement of additional facts, which actually is, we don't need to do that.
Sounds like a restatement of the same facts.
Correct. Yes. There's nothing new in that at all. And that she splits her time. And we do have another affidavit by Laura. Let's read this, though, because I love things in Laura's own words. It's not very long. I, Laura Owens, state the following under penalty of perjury. I am over 18 years of age, which is surprising. I would not have guessed that with your maturity level. And make this declaration voluntarily and based on my own personal knowledge, except when it expressly indicated that I only believe certain facts to be true and do not know from my own personal knowledge. I am a popular self-help podcaster and victims advocate who speaks regularly on the topic of coerced abortions. In late 2021, I was ready to have a child when I got pregnant with Greg's child. However, I felt a connection with Greg, and because he promised to follow through with a relationship with me if I had an abortion, I went through the abortion process. I knew that it was possible that my credibility as a victim's rights advocate could be tarnished, but I believed I could have a successful long-term relationship with Mr. Gillespie.
So you accepted the risk.
Okay. Right. And listen, honey, okay, it's not the abortion that tarnished your reputation. You did that to yourself, Laura. I followed through with the abortion based on false promises by Greg that we would have a relationship. However, after I made a first attempt to go through with the abortion, Greg blocked me on all forms of social media and the phone. He made it clear that he never intended to follow through with a promise of a relationship with me. Rude. After I initially had an unsuccessful abortion due to administering the pills the wrong way, he then changed his tack to threatening to expose me. And at one point said, if I don't get a say, then you don't get money from me. How threatening. The money he was referring to was child support. He demanded that I take the fucking pills and threatened to call the police. He said that I was holding him hostage. Oh, wait, this is like the same thing.
Mhm.
All right, we're not going to read this. This is all the same stuff her lawyer said. Literally verbatim. And he just copied and pasted it, it seems like. So, okay. Yeah. All right. That's all he did. Never mind. Fast forward to, oh, who's ready to see these skin rashes? Are you guys ready to see the $40,000 skin rashes?
The 40,000 most expensive skin rashes.
Prepare yourselves.
Let's see them.
What?
Looks like
Okay.
she picked a scab or
Yeah.
scratched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. You just have some bad skin, honey. Okay. Here's the other on her neck. Look at that $40,000 skin rash right there.
That's pimples.
I know. I mean, that doesn't look. I've had
There's
hives.
two.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so to my first husband, I broke out in hives on my wedding day,
Oh.
walking down the aisle. This should have been a sign.
Oh, flea bites because of horses. Sorry, I skipped that. Oh, could be. Bye, Colorado Canadian. Hope to see you again. Yeah, they look like moles to me. It does not look like she's just like, you know what? This is probably what a skin rash looks like.
But the skin doesn't even look raised or irritated or anything.
No.
Doesn't even look like she's been scratching them.
It just looks like you got bad skin, boo. So, oh, there's another picture in case you need that. So,
looks like she.
Oh, horse flies. Oh, I didn't think about horse flies. Yikes.
Yeah, those things hurt when they bite. Oh, they hurt bad.
Oh yeah, I do not like horse flies at all. She has body fat. Does she claim not to have any? Because
she just doesn't look like she eats.
That's true. She doesn't know what pregnancy is, and we expect her to know what a rash is. Yeah, my anxiety rashes don't look like that either. But okay. But you know, it sounds to me like she's never sleeping, so that's gonna do stuff to your skin, babe. And are you just eating nothing? Guess what? It's not great. All right. So those are her $40,000 skin rashes that are Greg's fault.
Okay.
Exhibit B is, we've already read this, so we don't need to do this again, right? What, 29. Oh yeah, we're not reading this because we already read it. So now we need to go to page 39, where we get more of the text messages laid out for us, which I would very much like us to reread now.
Let's do it.
That are the coercions. So this time, oh, I got to make this stretch out here. So I think Laura is in gray. Yes, Laura's in gray. For some reason, it's listed as Laura B. And then Greg is in blue. Yes. All right. So I'll be Laura this time, and you can be Greg.
Okay.
Hi, Wendy. Hello. Yeah. It was gross. That it is. All right. So this takes place 7/28, which would have been the time when she has the abortion medication from Choice. Whatever. Was that fly? Oh. All right. So she says, I understand. What is your answer? Is there no reason? I just want to be honest. At this point, I am very attached and would continue the pregnancy on my own without your involvement, unless you think we will get to that point ourselves one day. Please consider my values when answering and not just your own, because it would destroy me for you to change your mind. You really need to be committed to me and not just explore things for me to do this. Otherwise, I really want to keep it on my own and do the right thing. Ooh, okay.
You said you had already made up your mind, so you're changing?
Yeah. Lainey babe, there's a vertical and a horizontal. You are on the vertical one, so go on our page and you'll find the other one. So, and then
if
you'll be
it
like,
has
oh,
a cell phone at the bottom, you're on the vertical stream.
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. So you're changing?
Well, I'm wanting to make sure you understand the impact of this decision on me and that I would be doing this only for you.
Yes, but also for you, and we can do it right in the future.
Yeah, because if we aren't going to last, there's no reason for me not to do it. So I'm sorry for putting so much pressure on you, but I'm trying to be realistic. Okay. I'm fine doing it on my own and would do that with no question if it was someone that I didn't see myself with. But I'm going to totally hold your child support over your head in my future filings.
That's not in the text message.
No, it's not. That's why I have been questioning you so much on what you felt with me, because it's very risky on my end. Okay. All right. Don't worry, there's more. This is a few days later on August 2nd.
So please get them. I'm going to rest. We can talk tonight.
Please unblock me on social media if you mean it. You know that is a majorly sore spot for me and why it is. But yes, get rest. The drugs do not interact well for people with epilepsy. Well, that's a lie. Because she asked the nurse practitioner that, remember? And they were like, no, it doesn't do anything for people with seizures. It's fine. So I may decide to do a surgical in a week or two like you wanted originally. I hadn't told the doctor with my choice that I had epilepsy, another lie, and was on medicine for it, lie, because I was worried that she wouldn't prescribe the pills. She very much told her those things.
Then don't take the epilepsy medicine.
I will have seizures, which also, by the way, the Lamictal, that's what it was, is for depression as well. I know. I was on it. I will figure it out. It's also useful.
And why would you change your mind about going in to have it done? You said you wouldn't do that.
Where am I at here? I may not have a choice is why. You said you wanted that.
I want it done, so we aren't stressing.
Well, pills work up until 12 weeks, so I have time. Interesting, because they said 9 to 10 weeks, but okay. I am very confused about your actual intentions with me and don't feel comfortable terminating it until you figure out what you want. If I stress you out to the point of blocking me when we figured it was actually done, I don't know what to do. I would think that would have taken the stress away.
Excuse me? I'm sick and I'm turning everything off.
Don't want to make you talk in circles. I'm just confused. I can get the medicine regardless and just want to make it until if I feel ready. It really is up to you. I don't trust you not to block me at this point if it's done.
God.
And you know that you have been my reason to terminate. Man, look at this intense intimidation and coercion that is going on here. Okay. Okay.
And I turned everything off so I can rest. She interrupted his text message.
All of that would maybe make sense, except that when I went on my computer and opened iMessage for the first time in forever, my message immediately got delivered, whereas right before it went in green. The real red flag was the social media block because I went to message you there. Okay, crazy pants. You could have just said you needed to rest and you'd text or call when you got up. I never would have texted you then. Wow. Even if she wasn't pregnant, guys, this is all red flags. If you're wondering what is a red flag, Laura and her behavior, all red flags. So.
Okay. Swear on my grandmother's grave, I won't block you. Now let me rest and follow through with your word.
I was petrified that you were dying with no response.
No fucking way. So get that out of your freaking mind and don't mention it again.
I care about you and have seen too many news stories about this taking a turn for the worse suddenly. He could have
Could have died. I mean,
Don't worry, there's more.
Maybe.
This is a few days later on August 4th. This makes no sense.
You should have known I didn't want anything to do with this and fucking ended it then.
I never would have done that.
Yep.
That really doesn't seem right to do.
Pretty fucking clear. Neither is this. Taking the fucking pills, Laura, and stop threatening me and lying.
I think you're the one threatening here, not me.
Great. You can great. You could block me. Your choice not to. I don't care what you hear in the media. Fuck the fake media.
I worried. You sounded awful.
I'm calling the police.
Huh?
I'm worried about you and harming yourself and the baby.
I'm not harming myself. Question mark. For some reason.
I'm not harming myself. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Exactly. Stop fucking worrying that I'm dying and don't mention it again. Thank you. Leave it. Don't mention another word. Thanks.
I care about you. Oh my God.
Now I'm going to sleep.
As I've said, unblock me. I don't trust you at all because of that.
And you'll get your gas money and child support. Unless you lie on your taxes or you're broke as fuck.
Sorry. I said I would do it for the version of you who wrote the nice stuff earlier.
You don't get shit from me.
I can promise you that's not the case.
Great. Then you don't need a dime from me and don't have to commit mortal sin.
Aren't we doing an abortion?
Or are you that greedy? Woman, you are.
I'm so confused.
I have not a fucking day in this matter. I mean, I have not a fucking say in this matter. If I don't get a say, then you don't get money from me. I'm confused. You are holding me hostage over a bastard child.
All right, don't worry. There's more friends.
And you'll get your
this
gas
is a repeat.
money and child support. I think I'm changing the title of this stream.
You'll get your gas money and child support. Yes, I approve. Let's do that. Oh, this is a repeat. Okay, here we are at the bottom. It ends with the bastard child. You do get a say. ...
It's pathetic. Yeah, I said in the life of an unwanted, not created out of love child who doesn't have a heartbeat. and let us live our Fukong loves, which right now you are ruining.
Yes, Fukong making a comeback, which you can still have, right?
Then prove it and fucking do it. And don't act stupid and read directions wrong. I find that very difficult to believe. I thought you weren't extremely smart.
Me too, Greg. Me too. But here we are. Bitch can't read. Tell everybody Laura Owens can't read good. Who looks to see if tablets go in their vagina, Greg? Sir. There's literally a fucking picture there, Laura. We saw it. It is a picture. It's very large.
It's graphic enough that it needs to be censored.
Who looks to see if tablets go in their vagina? This is going to be new back and forth for us off camera. You don't need to call me woman and bitch.
You don't need to hold me hostage.
You are being very, very cruel. Jeez. Oh, okay. All right. So this is 729. So this is before, because they're out of order, because it's Laura's, court document. So it always is. So sure. Okay.
Is it though? Because the blue is on the right. So that's usually.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, this is her filing. I'm going to go with maybe Greg submitted because they're exhibits already.
Gotta be.
He probably took it and
the
used it.
The blue on the side is the person using it. Or the person. Yeah. How feeling. She snorted. You made Llama giggle snort.
Hi, Ivy. Yes, we are redoing the crazy text between Laura and Greg. All right. Excuse me. Okay. We'll start this. Did you already start the blue? Do the blue again.
I said, how are feeling?
Hi. I had a very bad night's sleep, and I have had to take care of the horses all morning since my guy, Ibon, texted me that he was sick, thrown up twice. More than that, I mentally feel awful. And I even saw that you can possibly reverse the pill online. I won't, but I hope we are worth it in the end. LOL. Ha 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 ha. Like a crazy person. This is really rough. I'm feeling so guilty. If you're feeling like me, having regrets, I can definitely not take the one tonight. Seems like that might be all we would need to do because I'm not bleeding yet.
Nah, I don't.
Well, I'm feeling very sad about it. You're not the one waiting to pass a kid. Horrible. Are you sure you want to be with me after all of it? Are you completely positive you want to be with me and aren't going to leave? Because I'm 10,000% having regrets and feeling awful about this. Question marks. Been crying on and off all day. He's just ignoring all of this. I'm feeling sick AF and regretting this. I really don't know if I want to go through with this. Mind you, they also gave her nausea pills if she was really doing this to, not make her throw up. She could be taking those, but she can't read, so she probably doesn't even know. I don't care if this sounds super petty, but doesn't look like you unblocked me. I just looked, told you many times this was a big deal. Don't get why you didn't do that if you were serious, and I said this was important. I'm having major guilt on this, so please make me feel better and not want to try to undo it. I don't know if this feeling is normal or not, but it's awful.
Wah, wah.
All right, so that's the end of our dramatic text messages. Now, reading these back after, because we initially read most of these at the very beginning of Greg's case, Greg and Laura's case here. And now, after everything we've learned about abortion coercion and the laws regarding that and all of that, I don't see it. I don't see it at all in these text messages. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. And then this, we've already read, we just read this actually just a few, an hour ago. We're almost done here. We need to get to, oh, that's all we have to do for this document. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're done. Okay. Don't worry. We'll have some discussions about that. Oh, I love that we got to end on a dramatic reading. I always enjoy our dramatic readings. They're fun. I bet she'd hate them if she heard them. She'd probably be like, I don't sound like that.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she sounds every bit of that.
Yes, Lainey, she's Looney Tunes. Now, after that's filed, there is another response for motion to summary judgment, which basically is just Laura saying that Greg couldn't prove his claims for fraud or intentional infliction of emotional distress, and that the defense argues that he works on commission, so he can't just put down a factual number for damages, and that when he testifies, he'll explain his monetary damages and the severe emotional distress he's experienced. It wasn't worth reading the whole thing. That was the highlight of that. And then there are a few more documents in this time frame. It is literally just them going back and forth being like, you don't have proof, you don't have proof, you don't have proof, blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of time. So I didn't include those here. That's it. Yes, it is the Spider-Man meme. No, pointing to everybody else. You're only missing the vocal fry or screaming. I don't know. I think I might be on my way there. I don't know. You love LO coverage. It brings me joy just because it makes me feel a lot better about myself, that I'm like, well, I know how to read. I'm like, Laura, who thinks about putting pills in their vagina, Greg? I love it so much. I can't wait till
to be fair,
home tonight.
You weren't sure about that either.
Well, that's true. But she had a picture. She had the information with a diagram showing exactly what to do, that they had to block it out. So I did it. Oh, gosh. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Well, that kind of sums up where Greg, by the way, this takes us all into, we covered today stuff that was filed at the end of July, which is right when Clayton comes into the picture. And then the last document we read was in September 6th. So Clayton has started. But I just wanted to go ahead and include that one in here, so that way we didn't have to take time in the flow of the next episode. Because now we're not doing a show tomorrow. We're not doing our normal Friday show because my little Llama is going to Arizona for spring break. So I have to take him to the airport and make sure his bag is packed, which I don't understand why it's hard for a 14-year-old to pack a bag of clothes, but apparently it is. So we won't be having a show tomorrow, but we will be back on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And we are breaking the seal on Owens versus Clayton Echard. And it literally is just, from now on, everything is unhinged. If you thought everything has been unhinged, nope. Max it 10,000% for Laura. It is crazy. Because what she does with Clayton is she takes him to family court, which is crazy. Because so far she's just been in civil court with all these people. Mm-hmm. She's literally going to the court, the family court, and saying, I'm pregnant. The baby's real. And I don't know of anybody who goes to family court while they're pregnant, because they can't really do anything until the babies are there. Like, I don't, I mean, I'm sure you can, but what's the point? Who does that? It doesn't make any sense. But
I would think you would wait until after. I didn't think most family courts would do anything until the baby was born. But clearly, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, what is there to, talk about? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Arizona has different laws. I don't know. I think it's weird that somebody would be able to do that. Because the first thing she wants to do with him, spoilers, is she files by trying to initiate a parenting plan
for a fetus.
Twins again. Spoilers. Guess what? I know. Who would have guessed? She went with twins again.
But a fetus, nonetheless.
Yes.
Okay. Parenting plan. Why don't you wait till the baby gets here and then try to work on a parenting plan? What are you parenting? Your fundus? Like your bump? Like what?
Is this more? This is becoming a popular thing to go to family court if you have proof of paternity and it's still preggo. That's interesting.
But she didn't even have proof of paternity.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I mean, I guess I understand it would be a whole lot better to have everything done before the baby gets here. But I feel like that would be more in line to like married couple who is like, going through that or whatever, or even not a married couple or whatever that just wants to get everything sorted. But like,
right.
What if you go through all that and there's 1,000 things that can happen in childbirth and the baby doesn't even, like, God forbid.
Well, how stressful it is. You and I have both been pregnant. You and I have both been in court for things like this. It is stressful as fuck. And then why would you want to do that while you're pregnant?
I wouldn't want to go through it after the process either because postpartum sucks. But
yeah, I don't really see what the point is of doing that. But I mean, maybe there's good reasons. I don't know. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But I
feel like it's weird to even try to do that before. But like I said, what do I know? I'm old, so maybe that's not the way they do things.
Yeah, unless she's trying to establish paternity to help with the expenses before birth. But okay.
Do you even get those? Okay, I don't know. In my state, you don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
My state, they're like, well, cool. Sorry, sucks. But I also live in Louisiana.
So. Things are weird down there. That is true. You guys have some weird French laws and stuff.
Yeah, we're a little backward here.
Yeah, you're very different than all the other states because of that, which I think is very interesting. Well, this has been a fun day. I'm sad I have to wait till Tuesday to talk more about Clayton. But, you'll have that. But we'll be back for a full week. Now, when we get into this next section of this crazy saga, so far we've kind of put things together, like Mike and then Uber and then Lone Cactus and then Greg, try to separate it out. Well, as most of us know, and that's why we're here, as soon as Clayton comes into the picture, boom, everything blows up because of Laura. And so everything starts getting enmeshed together. So we will be going back and forth as so many things are happening at the same exact time. As I said in our last episodes, this is what we have to look forward to in case you missed. All right, we got Owens versus Gillespie going on. And this is for the second half of 2023. Owens versus Gillespie. Owens versus Clayton Echard. Laura calling the police about all sorts of fucking things. It's crazy. And we have the call audio for those, which is great. A lot of Laura's ridiculous medium blogs. That's right, because she decides to write those. Then we have Echard's versus Owen, because yes, he decides to sue that bitch. And then Owens versus Dave Neal, the YouTuber content creator in his podcast. Laura tries to change her name. And there's hearings and body cams and just nonsense. So it really just
what I change it to.
It's barely even a change of name, and it's so funny. You have to see why she keeps Laura as part of it blows my mind, but we'll get into that. So it is just balls to the wall craziness from here on out, if that's everything that happens in just 6 months. So that is what we have. Are we covering Love Trapped? Not right now, but guess what I have on my list of things to do today? Because I haven't had time, because I've been writing nonstop with the Robert Hansen stuff, and there's no way I could listen to that and work at the same time. But now that I'm not doing that, I plan on finally listening to Love Trap this weekend. So, but Buffy, you listened to it.
I did, but I stopped because we were getting too far ahead in the podcast.
Oh.
And I don't want to spoil too much. Like, I stopped.
Right.
Only because, like, I don't want to get too far ahead into what we're covering here. Because I like to be surprised by the documents.
Yeah, me too.
But she is also, like, from what I can tell, the difference. I mean, I guess that we are kind of covering the same thing as Love Trap, right? Because she's doing kind of like you haven't listened to it yet, but she's doing like an overview, and we're covering the same case. So it's kind of like maybe a more document in depth, as opposed to like talking to Clayton, which I wouldn't be opposed to ever. But
well, I'm gonna give it a listen to.
We won't get that lucky.
I'm very excited about that. And now we know about Chase J. Jones. I can't believe that was not. I should have known. I should have known when I was like, because there's a motion to quash their subpoena with Dave Neal, and I was like, who the fuck is that person? Wow. Oh man, I'm so excited. Amos is being needy. Say hi to her. I'm just kidding.
I love you, Amos. I know. I saw your little kissy emoji.
Now, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, Terry and I will be on True Crime and Wine Time recording our podcast. And tonight we're covering the case of Dalia DiPolito, which, if you don't know who that crazy bee is, oh boy, definitely come and pop in and hang out with us while we record that at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm very excited to not talk about Robert Hansen. Though, if you have, Robert Hansen is not a complete story. So you can go to the playlist and find all of those episodes. And I worked very hard on that. And if you think you know the story of Robert Hansen, you don't. You don't know what happened all before they found him for 13 years. And it's something, and it's infuriating, and you'll be mad, and it's a good time. Yeah, Dahlia is a trip. Oh man, talk about some crazy. Dahlia, it's a murder for hire plot. So we'll be doing that tonight. Other than that, I hope you all have a great weekend. As I said, we'll be back Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you haven't yet and you're just watching, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that way you don't miss when we go live again on Tuesday.
Don't forget to like it.
Oh, and like it. Yes.
Like it, because the YouTube gods really like that. For some reason, it does like get it boosted in the algorithm when you hit the like button.
Right. So, and in replay crew, also but also leave comments as we're going along. Let us know what your thoughts are as you're watching along with us, because
I read them.
So fun. Those are so fun. I love that. So
they are.
You were thinking of being LO for TMI this week. I love that. All right, you guys. Well, you all have a wonderful weekend. So happy to hang out with you guys. And come prepared next week for all of the unhinged craziness, because we're ramping it up. All right. You want to say bye, Buff? And then I'll do mine.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? I was reading the chat. I'm always reading the chat. I'm distracted.
That's okay.
Darn.
That's true.
Chat, you're distracting. You keep me entertained. I'm like, well, see, text packet says you can dislike, and it gives you the same effect. Don't do that. It makes me cry.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive.
Anyway, well, you guys have an amazing weekend. And until next time, go forth and be amazing. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.